mate. Welcome to Fourever Rivals. Go the Blue Baggers. How's everyone going? Hey, is that song one of the most pump-up songs you can get before a show?
It gets you going, doesn't it? It gets you going.
It's fucking like sick, man. The graphics, everything, man. That is, I'm telling you, mate, no one else in the world has anything like that. Anything like that. We've already got people coming on. Joe, we met at the show, which we will talk about. We got Lou, he's always there. Good evening. We got Jimmy R. We met at the show. Evening, boys. Nice to catch up Saturday night with the Rivals. Yes. Got Jay here. How are you, mate? Oh, our favourite, Matula, mate. She was actually. She had a bit of a surprise for us, didn't she, Marco?
She certainly did. It was fantastic, wasn't it?
We've got Adam. Welcome, mate. We've got Tony's there. Sammy. What do we got? We got a big long thing here. What do we got here, guys? I'm in Italy. I'm now in Italy. Here he goes. And I just wanted to say, Manny, North Melbourne, I love you guys. You didn't deserve to win holding the ball against Dacos at the 50-meter, but we will talk about that. But the main thing is that, mate, we're around the world, mate. People are watching us from Italy, everywhere, mate. It is unbelievable, mate. We've got Brandon here, mate. Everyone, welcome, mate. We love you guys. As I said, if it wasn't for you guys, we will not be here, mate. So thanks, everyone. How is everyone? We'll start at the top with Quinny from Tiger Den. Tiger Den, that's flying, mate. I'm telling you, you're bringing the Tigers out to the public, mate. We're loving it.
I'm telling you, we need it right now too because we're not doing much on field. So it's good to have Tiger Den. It's going well. And I'm fantastic, mate. It's good to be here. Everyone in the comments, it was airing Saturday night. Thank you for coming up, saying hello. It was surprisingly a pleasure to meet all of you, considering most of you were Carlton supporters. It was great. It was good to meet everybody, had a bit of fun. And Matula, I promise you tonight, I won't be swatting flies. You pointed it out on Saturday night. I won't be swatting flies tonight. You can guarantee that. So no more of this. No more of this tonight.
Yeah, and we've got a few here. We'll talk about him too. Congratulations, Zussies. 300. It was a big event, wasn't it? We will talk about that. Here we go. Everyone met Peter Bluebagger. Pleasure to meet you guys. It was absolutely. Here we go. Look at this straight away. Donation from Lone Wolf, and hey, he was there. We all met Lone Wolf. All great to meet the Fourever Rival crew despite your poor choice of football. Question, when was the last time all three big clubs were in the top four? We will talk about that. And unfortunately, the Tigers can't just come to the party, mate. They just don't want to come to the party. But I can't remember last time ladder position 2, 3, 4 were occupied by three of the Rivals, so it's pretty big. Manny, how are we, mate? He's trying to be funny. No, he's acting. He's acting up. I know Manny because I can tell when he tries to nod.
Hello, I can hear you.
It's a very warm good evening to everyone. It's freezing out there. I don't know about you guys. I've got the heater at 25 degrees. My feet are nice and toasty. It was a great night on Saturday night for those who were able to attend. It was actually, it was really good. It was good to meet some great personalities. It was nice to see Matula and her husband and Lana. What a party animal. I reckon Lana is probably one of the biggest party animals. You could, if you want to go out for a bit of a good time, and Lana, she's the one, mate. She's a party animal.
Mate, we had a ball. Lana was absolutely rocking by the end of the night. So was Dino. How good was Dino? How good was Dino?
Well, actually, I thought he was a Collingwood supporter, to be honest with you, Dino. But
mate, he's a full-on, mate. And then we had Johnny fucking Holden, mate. He was there. Johnny Holden. We love Johnny Holden and his beautiful wife and his son Joshua. They were there too, man. I'm telling you, it was such a top night. Marco was there. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good evening, fellas. certainly is a fresh evening. No, it was a great night on Saturday night, boys. I enjoyed it. Had a couple of drinks there with a few of the lovely people out there, but I've come down for a bit of the flu. Now, genuinely, I have got the flu today, so I might be a little bit soft in my comments. But it's not going to stop me from having it's not going to stop me from having a Jack Daniels. It might kill off some of the germs this evening, so I might start rocking and rolling a little bit later on.
No, we got it. That's all right. And then we're proudly brought to you all because of Cordon Security Blinds. What did I hear? Do you want me to sing the song again?
Sing it, Rocco. Sing it.
I'll do it. If you want your family to be safe, Cordon Security Doors and Blinds is the place that don't support a Fourever rivals and are really top mates. And don't forget to ring 83394848. And don't forget to ring 83394848.
Yes. Give us a call on 83394848. Receive a free measurement quote. Shall you be interested? Friends, family, builders, renovators, whatever the case may be. Happy to give you guys a bit of a chop out. Simply mention, Fourever Rivals and the jumper punch, of course, and get that 10% off. Located in the northern suburbs. Search us on and like us on Facebook as well. Protect your home, most important, your family. Thanks, Rocco.
Mate, how good is that, mate? And you were telling me that, Fourever Ride's been doing all right. You've been getting a few calls, so the happy Jumper Punch family has been supporting the local businesses. So that's good to hear. So thanks, guys.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
I'm telling you, man, creative singing, Rocco. Listen, mate, I do everything. I do stand-up. I do singing. I do podcasts, whatever you want. And you know what? If you stay till the end of the show, I might just have a little bit of a clip of the new sensation Rocco doing his stand-up at the show. How was that? I made everyone laugh, didn't I? That was pretty funny, wasn't it? When I got up, you actually
did well,
out on it, Quinny.
You did well, mate. I was surprised. I was very surprised, but full credit to you, mate. You certainly, you do okay with stand-up. You do okay. Yeah.
It was, I'll tell you what, it's, I can do this, I can get up on stage and I can do it, but to actually get up there and then making people laugh, like that's the main objective. It's pretty bloody nerve-wracking. So, but I think I got through it all right. So we'll definitely show you a bit of that a little bit later. But what we can do is, for the people who were there, and we're going to say, Matula, thank you very much, because Matula gave us a special present. And does everyone want to have a look at what happened on the night? We've got a little bit of a snippet. Does everyone want to have a look? Well, it doesn't really matter what you want. I'm going to play it. But here we go. Let's have a look at what happened on the night. So Matula, she gave us a bit of a gift. So thanks Matula. Thanks Matula.
Thank you. What is it?
Is this for Mark? This for Mark? Marco, come up here, mate.
Coming up. Here comes Marco. Up you come.
Tinfoil,
The only bomber scanner in the house.
Come on, the only bomber in the house. She's given us a present. So this is for your marshmallow team. Fantastic. We can share that out.
Can't wait tonight.
For you? That's a
spud.
The little spud. Look at him. That's for your spud team over there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, boys.
You're a great man. You're a great man.
That's quality. That is absolute quality. That is quality.
Very good, Matula.
First of all, thanks, Matula. And then for
Fantastic.
everyone.
Thanks, Matula.
Hey, where's the spud?
Here it is. The little spud mayo. We got it. Mark was good enough to say, you know what? He really loved it. He wanted to take it home, but he did say it might look better in the JP studio. So after this, it sits proudly on the shelf next to the dynamite that they also build. But so there you go. There's your merit. There's the
How's that work?
There's the captain. Look, and he's got his name on the back. Let's let everyone have a look. Spud. So,
Has he got the Kevin Bartlett haircut as well going on there?
He's got a little bit of the Kevin. He's got a bit of the Kevin Bartlett. He has too. So thanks very much. So we did have a good time, man. We did have a good time. What do we got here? You done super stand up, fully sick. Thanks, man. I did appreciate it. I did appreciate the laughs. Trust me, Rocco. Do you shop at Coles Reservoir? I think, yeah, I do shop at Coles Reservoir. So yeah, come up to me, mate. Come up. I do shop at Coles Reservoir. Yes, Seba. Seba's in that. There he is. Seba's in the audience. Fuck, that's gold, the Spud, man. I'm telling you, I love that much. That's got to stay in the studio. And admittedly, Mark, you were a genuine sport. And meeting everyone, how good was it meeting everyone and actually having a beer with these people?
I tell you, obviously, as those who were there know, I got there a little bit late on the night and I've walked through and I'm thinking, hopefully it doesn't take me too long to sort of meet people. Before I even got in the front door, I had two people go, Quinny. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I felt bad because obviously, you see the names in the comments, but you don't know faces. So, but it was lovely. I walked in, everybody introduced themselves, and sure enough, you recognize all the names and all, everyone starts to, come together, and it was unreal. It was really great to meet everybody. Now when I see comments, I know who they're coming from and what they're all about.
Yeah. And the best thing about that little clip I just showed you, right? Three-time premiership player Peter McConville, right? He's a star, mate. He's a star. Three-time premiership player handed the Spud to Mark. Do you believe it? You got handed the Spud by three-time premiership player Peter McConville. So,
and you know the funny thing was, Rock, when he handed it over to me and I shook you guys' hand, I actually reached out to shake his hand. And you'll see it if you
thought you put your hand out for a second, yeah.
I did put my hand out, and I just noticed he did not even flinch. I thought, oh, okay, I don't know what I've done wrong here, but anyway, and I continued. No, it was fine. It was all good. It would have been that rivalry there against the Bombers and the Blues. So, and then obviously I went out and shook you boys' hands. So no, but it was a fantastic night to catch up with some people we didn't even know really.
Hey, having said that, I'll tell you something funny. I had Mark sitting next to me, and we're having a great night, and we're enjoying ourselves. And then Mark says to me, what's going on here? Are they going to go through every single round? And I said, yeah, mate. And then they're going to get to your round. And I'm going to enjoy that the most. You see, because Collingwood beat Carlton, even though we beat them by a goal, it's still a win. So for me, it was just absolute great pleasure. But Mark was very, very nervous. He goes, I'm going to sit there and I got to wait now to get to that round. And funny enough, it was the last round, wasn't it? So
it was the last round.
The spud was quite fitting.
We gave the Spud. We talked about the game. So yeah, no, it was actually a good night. And as I said, I think it was pretty much a success. It did go off without a glitch. It was good, man. Again, I want to thank Nadia from Falan Club and also Will, who did all the lighting. I mean, the studio didn't look so good, man. Like all the lights, everything was set up. I was just blown away how good the night turned out. So because of that, I'll tell you what, there might have to be another one. So we might have to do another one bigger and better. So that's it. What's this one say? Manny, you are a Niagara Fall. The Niagara Fall. I did call it Niagara Fall. Yes, you are, man. And then Seba, like he said, great to meet you all. So he met you, Queenie. You just don't remember.
Oh, I met too many people. It all blurred together. Sorry, Seba. Once Rocco pointed it out, it did click again. I made a mistake. It's my bad, but I do remember. It was good.
You're a pop star, Quinny. So
I felt like it on the night. I actually felt like it.
Yeah, it was good. As I said, man, it's good, man. It's good that everyone got to meet each other. At the end of the day, I still reckon use it follow shit sides, and really, the brains aren't up to our current supporter people. But meeting everyone, was a good way to show that we're all there, we're all here to have a bit of fun. You know what I mean? Keep up this rivalry. So it was good. I know that Mark, you were a little bit nervous coming into that evening, that night before the evening. You thought you were going to cop a little bit more, but I reckon everyone was, mate. Everyone had a beer with you. It was fun, man. Dino, I reckon Dino spoke to you for about fucking 20 minutes about Essendon.
It was fantastic, mate. And he always kept on calling me. You know what I mean, Mark? You know, Roger Merritt was a fantastic player, wasn't he, Mark? And Timmy Watson was great, wasn't he, Mark? You know, oh, Mark.
You know he's footy, man.
You know he's footy, you know, but he's always kept on saying Mark, and I'm like, well, he knows my name, that's for sure. So, you know,
there you go. You met
John
Holden.
I did. I remember met John and his son at the bar. That was when I first walked in, actually. So don't forget that.
And look at this, Seba.
No, I do remember you, Seba. I had a mental blank and Rocco's taking advantage of me. I do remember.
Rocco taking advantage of you? No. No way. No way.
Not right.
Mark was cool. He started to loosen up near the end. He did. He came in.
Not Rocco, mate. Rocco doesn't take advantage of people.
No. But I just wait for one little crack, mate, and I'll go for you, mate. So that's what did Manny?
Well, I found my mate.
Yes.
My mate was missing for a couple
of
weeks, so he's back. I found my mate.
Right. We did that. Do you guys want to? We'll get back to maybe a little bit of talk about that, but do you guys want to get back into like some what we're here for?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, might as well. I find that one's more. It's got more of a bit, tune to it. What's happened to them? Jesus, it's that's typical Essendon, just running off.
Just disappears. I don't know where he goes when he keeps disappearing, but it's a bit weird, mate. He just keeps getting on for a second. It's a bit fucking weird, mate. I don't know, mate. I reckon those peptides, they're all to the fucking right of you there, mate. And all you're doing is just going there, just having a bit of a hit before you come back on, right? All right, so what we're going to talk about is, I think what everyone knows what we're going to talk about. What have I written here? Umpires. Man, it's an ongoing weekly thing. I mean, I really don't want to keep talking about the umpires, man, because I believe that I don't think umpires make you win or lose a game. I don't even care if it's the last decision. It's not about that. But if the umpire hasn't got worse this year for some reason, right? For some reason, it's really stood out this year, right? I don't know if I'm just because recency biased. I'm looking at 2024 and I'm forgetting about 20. I don't know. But to me, it is just like it stands out like dog balls. Every week there's like a howler. I don't remember that's ever happening. Like there's a howler. And then what's upsetting me is I think the AFL are coming out and treating us like fools when they come out and try to justify some of these decisions, mate. We've all watched the game long enough. We know the rules, mate. We're not idiots. Don't come out and treat us like idiots, man, because some of those decisions on the weekend, again, were howlers. And Mike, we could talk about that. I also want to ask why? Why has it got so bad this year? Like, there's got to be a reason. It can't just be because, I don't know, they're getting it wrong. There's got to be a reason.
Well, I think you said it. Oh, go, Manny. Sorry, mate.
No, you're right. Go, Manny. Go.
I was going to say, thanks, mate. I was going to say, Rock, you said it before we started the show, and I think I agree with it. You were saying you don't actually blame the umpires themselves. And I think I'm with you there. I think if you look in the last few years, how many mid-season interpretation changes we've had, how many rule changes we've had, even the players don't really know what's going on anymore. And as a fan watching, I sometimes struggle to know. So I don't blame the umpires for not necessarily being on top of everything and making mistakes. They always made mistakes. I just feel like we're noticing them more and more now because of all these interpretation changes. Also doesn't help that we've got so many slow motion replays compared to how many we used to have, and you watch all these, finite decisions. But I think it's definitely the interpretations changing constantly that's making it hard for them. And you think of who would want to become an umpire now? Absolutely nobody. Absolutely nobody, because they're just copping it left, right, and center from us, from the AFL, from the players. It's a thankless job.
I totally agree. Sometimes they try to do stuff so that we get more umpires into the system, so they don't really you can't talk about them and all that. But in actual fact, I think this year they've made it actually worse for people wanting to become umpires, because the scrutiny they're under is just ridiculous. And there was a couple of things here about Laura Kane, right? And unfortunately, I've got nothing against her. I don't know who Laura Kane is. I've seen her on on socials and that. But seriously, if she walked past me in the street, I would not know who she was. I've got no idea, right? And she's a young lady. She's got a tough job. But you know what? At the end of the day, you put yourself in that position, and then you're the one that comes out and tries to explain it. Well, you're going to have to cop it, mate. You're going to have to cop it, man. If you're the one that's putting yourself out there, I bet you if things were going well, you would want the praise, right? Mate, things aren't going well. And that's just one thing, because there's another thing they brought out this week that we're going to talk about shortly. But what do you reckon, guys, at the bottom there?
Yeah, it's happening too often, obviously. I think it's not going to get any better sooner, to be honest. I think it's going to get to a stage where it's going to be a really important game. And I've always said this all year, that it's going to get to a stage where it's a final, and it'll be something like what happened in the Collingwood North Melbourne game, where it's going to cost the game. And mate, we're passionate about our teams, our clubs. We live for it. And if some decision like that happens towards a final, mate, there's going to be head rolling. There was probably only one game. I mean, it's happening every week. It's getting worse, but there was one game that I noticed that the umpires weren't influenced at all. Was the Essendon and Collingwood game, Anzac Day. That was the only game that I noticed from the start to the end. That I just you couldn't. The umpires weren't there in a way. They were calling the correct free kicks, and some of them weren't correct, but they weren't influencing the game. So whether now they're starting to change the rule, like Quinn was saying, the interpretation of it now, there's too many rule changes. We're watching a lot more football now on TV, so we're seeing it a lot, where years ago it was on radio. Yep. You probably couldn't see that.
It definitely makes a difference. The replays, the social media, it definitely makes a difference. It highlights
slow view.
It also highlights mistakes for footy players.
You can slow review it now, and you can see here, if you touch the ball, you know what I mean? The stuff like that, mate. It's getting a little bit too touch. I reckon just pay the free kick if you see it, and don't worry about what happens, the circumstances after that happens. If you made the wrong decision, so be it. We just got to keep moving on, I think.
I'll let you have your say before I ask you a few more questions, Manny.
Oh, my biggest concern is there's no accountability. Now, they're getting paid to do a job, but it's like I said to you the other day, Rocco, they're part-timers. You gotta train, you gotta qualify these guys to make it a full-time career. That this is their bread and butter, right? Because I can tell you right now, if I know that I'm sort of not doing my job correctly, and all of a sudden my employer says to me, mate, you know what? Pull your head in or you're out the door, and I know that just around the corner there's another job for me, what am I going to do? I'm just going to take this as a pretty blasé attitude. This is the problem we've got. These part-time umpires, all right, there's no accountability for it, right? And they're making mistakes. And you said at the start of the you said that these umpires and the decisions are not costing games. They are costing games, and unfortunately, there's been at least a dozen of games this year where through their wrong decision making has cost teams, and I'm not I'm not afraid to admit it that against the Collingwood North Melbourne game, all right, they made a huge mistake. The umpires, sure, Collingwood came back, being 54 points down. So it's not the 54 points, but we're going to focus on that one decision. But that one decision could have won North Melbourne the game. So there have been decisions that have been made that have cost the game. So you've got to. I reckon they got to start fresh, employ, get them in there, train them. Right, this is what you do now. This is you take it serious, and there's accountabilities. And to be fair to Laura Kane, she has to defend her squad. She has to defend them. And they're saying today, they said on the news that they put on these goggles. Where you're basically, you're visualizing that you're the umpire and you're having a look, when it happens and how quickly, the game's going on and the decisions you've got to make. And they say it's not as easy as that. But you know what? Turn them into full time. Get them trained up. Do the right thing. You get them full timers, and there'll be mistakes, but there won't be these type of mistakes. And umpires shouldn't be afraid to call, because I find that especially around the last minute and a half, if it's it's close to the game finishing, they're afraid to call the big free kicks. Call them. Who cares? You know what I mean? Call them. Simple as that. But I'm not.
Joe, first of all, Joe looks like he's all the way in. I think he's in Phuket at the moment. He's from Bangkok. Joe hosts the Blue Sunday. So welcome to Joe. He reckons they do get dropped. They do get dropped. So there is accountability for them. And if they don't, you're saying, oh, they got another job, mate. They have a bad year. They don't play final. They don't umpire finals.
Yeah, okay. They don't umpire finals. Okay. Big deal.
It's a lot of money, Manny.
Well, is it? You reckon it's a lot of money?
Each final is like 10 grand.
You reckon?
I think each final is like 10 grand, and then the grand final is something like 50. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how many umpires you've got?
It does cost them. It's not about that. I'll pose a question. You say that they should be full. You think that full time will make such a big difference? In what way? In what way?
What do you mean? What way? The training will be better. They'll be.
What are they training? Like
it'll be their full-time. It'll be their full-time job.
What are they training?
It'll be their full-time job, Rocco. You come in. You come in at 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning. You're there till you're there 5 days a week, 6 days a week. You're getting trained. This is what you do.
But the question is, what would they do that's different? What would they do? What else can they do? Like they already go like 3-4 times.
Accountability, my friend. When you know that's your bread and butter, you're going to make sure, because you don't want to lose. And you know what? They should be, if they're making mistakes, right? They should be basically, you know what?
They'll keep on.
They do get dropped. What I want to say is this, right? You're saying there's no accountability, right? They do get dropped. The other thing is, these people, the umpires are proud of their job. You're saying that they don't care because they got another job.
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm not saying that. I can't speak on their behalf.
They don't take accountability.
I can't speak on their behalf.
Manny, if you're going 3 or 4 times a week, right, and you're umpiring, what else can an umpire do? We're not talking about a footy player, like trying to. What else can you look at more videos? Like what else can you do? To me, this is not the umpire's fault, right? It's the way they've been told to umpire, right? Yeah, they've been put under pressure the way they're told to umpire. Right, because they're changing rules mid-season, Manny.
So how do you explain? All right, so you tell me, how will you explain, how will the AFL explain to their umpires about the decision they made against North Melbourne and Collingwood in the last minute, right? How will they explain some decisions where one of the Magpies players, can't remember who it was, got pushed? He flew in the air, right? I thought it was the flying nun. That's how high he flew in the air, right? Because he was deliberately pushed. They didn't blow it. I mean, so what do you mean? Who are they? Doesn't make sense to me.
I don't understand something, Manny. I asked you a simple question, and you've gone off on another rant about a stupid free kick from Collingwood. What I'm saying is,
I'm saying that they stand out. These decisions stand out, Rocco.
Let me talk. I
That's all you
asked you a
do.
simple question.
I'm giving you the
Right?
answer.
That's not the answer. You're saying how you're asking me another question.
No,
I've asked you did. You said, how are they going to explain this and that and this and that?
no. I'm saying to you, how can you not make a decision as an
how
umpire?
by
Rocco?
being full time, how by being full time will that help the situation?
I said it from the start. When it's your bread and butter, it's your bread and butter.
I don't agree with that. That's a load of rubbish, man. The umpires it's a lot of money, man. The umpires take their job very seriously. I don't blame the umpires for getting this wrong. I don't blame the umpires. This has got to do with the umpiring, like coaching, fraternity, whatever they are. This has got to do with the AFL stepping in and saying they want a game to look a particular way. They want a game to go a particular way. This is what we're going to do. That's what the problem is here. That's what the problem is. Even that free against North, that could be because the umpires are pressured to keep the game moving. Right? But the problem is they come out. What I don't like is them coming out. Laura, first of all, why isn't the head of bloody umpiring coming out? Why is Laura coming out, first of all? Why is she speaking? Shut up and do your job. Let's get the AFL, the head of coaching of the AFL, to come out and explain the
Maybe
rules.
she is. Maybe she is. Maybe that's her position.
No, it's not her position. She's not the head of coach. Don't make up stuff. It's not the head. She's not the head of coaches. So why is she coming out? The first thing. Second of all, right? Don't treat us like idiots. I'm fucking sick of getting treated like idiots. To come out and tell me that free kick against North Melbourne was justified, right, is a joke. That is an absolute joke. I've watched the game long enough. Man, sometimes you step out, fucking what? You step out over like a 30 centimetres, and these bloke give you a 50. These bloke impeded on him 5 metres. 5 metres. And then they try to justify that was a free kick. Just say we got it wrong. That's it. Don't treat us like idiots, Manny, mate. Don't treat us.
Brisbane.
I agree, but the problem is that they are getting it wrong, Rocco. But the problem is that we know they're getting it wrong. My grandmother's been dead for 15 years, knows they're getting it wrong. The question is, how are they going to fix
What's
it?
the solution? What's the solution?
Rocco?
This is the question I'm asking now. Like I saw, Quinny, did you have something to say? This is the question I'm asking. Like, they're getting it wrong. Why is it so bad this year? Why is it gone so bad this year? Like, why?
Yeah,
There's got to be a reason.
I was going to say, Rock, you're talking about infringing on the mark and how they, 30 centimetres. What about that Brisbane St Kilda one? I'm pretty sure I texted you about it on the night when they did it. They paid 50 against St Kilda.
Yeah.
Because he was slightly too far. Instead of saying come back 2 meters, which that's a whole nother topic, why sometimes I'll tell you to come back, sometimes they don't.
Yes. Yeah, saw that.
That's another one. But yeah, that one there, again, another one that costs the umpire. So look, going back to your question.
That was another one. And this is the point. You get that where he just goes over the mark and they give 50. And then this bloke goes 5 meters over the mark. What was it? Because the pressure of the game at the end? Like, what is going on, mate? Is this the way they've been asked to umpire? I don't know, man. I really don't know the answer, man. I just noticed that every game there's almost 2 or 3 like absolute howlers.
Yeah, and it's quickly what JS, there was a comment there on their salary. I think it's between 40 and 150,000 for an umpire. Yeah. I think that's a massive discrepancy. That's a good umpire and a shit umpire. It's just like a good player or a shit player. So,
no. I don't think it means that. I think it means on how many games you umpire. So they're on a base salary. They're on a base salary. So if you umpire so much, you get so much. And then if you get the finals, you get paid for each game. And it's a lot of money. It's like 20 grand. And then the grand final is like, I'm making up these totals, but I did remember that if you play and if you umpire all the way to the grand final, it's something like 150 to 200 grand in your pocket, or before tax, whatever, right? But if you just umpire the home and away, right, depending on,
I think the wages is between
more than
40.
one game a week, they could get like 40, 50, 60 grand. So it's like a weekly wage almost. So like what Manny was saying, it does affect them, Manny. You umpire bad, it hurts your pocket.
But we can't just accept that, You umpire bad, you get dropped, teams lost the game, lost the final, whatever the case may be. And Quinn was spot on. No one wants to umpire anymore. These young kids don't want to come through and umpire, So if you have got an umpire that makes a bad decision and they get dropped, who else is going to come in?
Yeah.
If there's no one there to umpire, if there's no good umpires out there, they'll just replace the other umpire with somebody that's got less experience, and that causes more issues on game day.
Yeah, John
so
Holden
maybe the full-time salary can kind of better that solution. It's only a solution, right? At the end of the day, give it a go. The AFL's got plenty of money. If it's going to make it maybe a change, the umpires might start reviewing games more. Like you're saying, you can only look at the video much time as you can. But decision making, maybe they can practice more decision making. They get out in the ground and they practice decision making. There's plenty of things that you can do as a full-time job to better yourself in all forms of work. So that can be a solution.
I don't think it'll make. It's
not their fault. I'm not blaming the umpires. It is the interpretation of it, of course, and the rule changes during the year that these umpires are finding it hard to umpire. But that could be a solution.
John Holden says sometimes they have a bad day, and you're absolutely right. Players have bad days, umpires have bad days, and I can accept that. But I'll give you an example. If a player keeps having a bad day every week, what? He doesn't play. You know what I mean?
Another, 20 players on the list to choose from.
And they find a solution.
Having a bad day is one thing. But when something sticks out like dog's balls and they don't call it, that's not a bad day. That's just that they haven't got the guts. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, I've got a very good friend of mine who used to be a senior AFL, VFL umpire, right? He's now retired, but I'm going to get him on the phone, and I'm actually going to have a chit chat with him, and I'm going to ask for his what he thinks the problem is now to what it was back then.
It'd be good if we can get any sort of answers.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm talking about a legend umpire by the name of Johnny Russo. So I'm not talking about someone that was doing a game here and there. I'm talking about legend status.
How about you get him on the show, Manny?
You have to turn the comment section off if he's on the show.
Through my connections, Rocco, I might be able to. Yes.
All right, you can do that. Yeah, what's going on here? 13 likes only. What's wrong with you, fucking? You talk about the umpires having a poor night. What about you blokes? Poor night, 13 likes. Let's get that pushed up. Before you go,
come on, boys.
I want to just show, and I know this is what I'm talking about. I know this was your game, Manny, right? But really, and I'm not saying this would have won them the game, but they still got to kick it from about 20, 25. But when you look at this, right? When you look at that, mate, there's no explanation for that. That's one of the worst. And look, even the Collingwood, the players knew they did that wrong. They knew straight away, mate. That is
I agree with you, Rocco. I had a very good friend of mine who was at the game. He actually was sitting at that section, and he said to me, he actually thought that the ball hit the ground and actually didn't come off his foot and flew up from where he was sitting.
And at the end of the day, the umpire blew the whistle.
I understand. But if the umpire wasn't close enough, but then again, he's blown the whistle.
He called it a mark.
That's right. So he's blown the whistle. So obviously one of the umpires, one out of the 15 umpires, because I don't know how many there's there, 15, 20 umpires? How many is on there? Right? One of the umpires has seen it. He's whistled it. And then they've called it play on. Now, I don't know what the go is with that. You know what I mean? And those kind of mistakes, Rocco, can cost. Now, I'm a Collingwood supporter. Now, last year against Brisbane, that last-minute decision could have changed the whole thing. Yeah? I mean, we're not going to talk about history now.
Yeah, no,
because you can't
100%.
change history.
And these and these decisions can cost. I still believe a game goes for 120 fucking minutes. So one decision does not make a game. Sorry. You could talk about North Melbourne missing out, and there was also, to tell you the truth, there's also 2 throws in the 50 inside the North Melbourne. Dacos threw the ball, and then Guaynar threw the ball straight after that. There were 2 absolute throws. They should have been paid. They weren't paid. I still don't believe that they should have won the game. I don't care. I can't get my head about one decision making a game, man. When you're 54 points up, you can't blame it on that. You can't. But the problem is that I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Look,
well, I was gonna say I want to try to play devil's advocate, and it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion. But if you look at the umpiring for an entire week and every decision that's made throughout the week, and also the fact that you said before, Rock, if there's a player that plays consistently shit for weeks and weeks and weeks, he gets dropped. They look at other options. They go for alternatives. Part of the issue is we don't have enough umpires to have. We do drop them when they're bad, but we don't have enough umpires to just keep filtering out all the dog shit ones and bring. Like, it's just we're dealing with numbers and what we've got. But I think if you look at, and I'm the first one to bash umpires, right? Especially being a Richmond supporter. So I'm not trying to say anything that's unusual here, but if you look at all the decisions that get made throughout a game, I reckon you'll find 90 to 95% of them are correct, but it's the ones that they're getting wrong and the moments that they're getting them wrong is where all this is starting from. And it is. I know what you said, Rock. You can't blame it. Like, yeah, Collingwood came back from 54 points down. North Melbourne shouldn't have blown that, but also a set shot 15 metres. That could have changed the result, but they also shouldn't have blown that lead. So it does influence games for sure, but I think it's the caliber of the decisions, the moments that they're in, and that's the reason why it's getting so much talk. But if you look, 90%, we'll say, just say 90%, 85, 90% of the decisions every week would be spot on, but it's the ones that are wrong are really bad.
They're going to stand out, aren't they?
Yeah. I think that's the problem.
They are going to stand out. Listen, I haven't got the answer. I'm just seeing it, and some of those howlers are really, they just stand out, mate. You know. So I don't know, man. And to me, again, I think it's got worse this year for some reason, and I think it's the AFL and the rules committee there. The way, like, who changes rules mid-season or makes a new interpretation? Who does that, right? And now, talking about that, we'll move on quickly, right? I want to talk about this new father and son. They are thinking about changing, right? They're thinking about changing. This is another rule mid-season that they could bring out. Who does that? Who is changing that? I know what this is going to be my argument about this, right? Because people are going to say, like, because now it might involve Carlton this year. It might involve Carlton. But tell me something. The reason I'm upset is because last year's draft, right? We planned for this year's draft, right? So what we did was we changed around our drafts. We got 4th round picks and that, so we could accumulate enough points to get these players into our club. We planned 18 months ahead, right? So then we've got a plan in place, right? Then halfway through the year, they go, no, we'll change it now. How is that fair? How is that fair? Now, if they want to do a rule change for the father and son, and let's say they say, let's do it in 13 months' time. Let's do it in 18 months' time. So we can plan for it. That means that this year's draft, we will not be planning for 2 years' time, will we? We know what the rules are. But what they're doing now, I'm telling you that I've heard that the clubs are going to stand up and they're not going to accept this, right? Because the AFL, remember, Carstonians, they represent us, right? And if we're not happy with it, this thing cannot go through. It's a bloody disgrace. What's next? Like, if they do this, what's next? Like, halfway through the year, they decide, let's turn that ladder upside down. Let's put Richmond on top because we decided that we got to even up that competition. I know you'd be happy with that, but you know what I mean? I know that's drastic, right? But what? So in the middle of the year, after you've planned, spent all your money, spent all your time trying to do something, what? You just change the rules because you think it's the right thing to do. And then halfway through the week, again, Laura Kane comes out. Are you going to change the rules? Oh, we might. What do you mean we might? This is like a $50 million business, mate. What do you mean you might? What do you mean you might? Like it's mind-blowing, mate.
What's the minimum or the maximum, future picks that you can give? So, when you go to the draft and I might say, Rock, I'm going to trade you this and 2 future picks. It's only 2 years, isn't it? You can't trade more than 2 years in advance. Is that correct?
I think it's I could be wrong, but I think it's 2 years. So maybe the chat will know. But I think it's so you can trade 2 years in advance your trade picks because you know that, for example, the Canberra Rallies, right, are 16 years old. So in 2 years' time, you want to draft them. So what you do is you start to plan for it, right? Mm-hmm. Or else we would have done a different draft last year. We wouldn't have given away and try to maneuver stuff. And it just hasn't affected us. There's a few other clubs that this could affect if it comes through. And you might say, can't be careful because it might be you next year or it might be you next year. You know what I mean? And the other thing is stop fucking around with the father and son rule, right? Don't fuck around. You know why? Because, Manny, I'll say to you, how great is it to see Dacos's kids play in your side?
Speaks for itself.
Well, then how can it's the most special thing to see a father and son. You love it. You love it. You've had your father and sons. You've had your father. Have you had father and sons, Mark? No, Mark, I'm serious.
Yeah, Danaher, yeah.
Yeah, oh, well, you got Watson and you got Danaher. That's right.
Yeah. But, yeah.
How can you fuck around with that, mate? How can you fuck around with that, man? It's a special thing. Why are you taking that away, mate?
Don't take it away. Don't take it away.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't take the father and son away, but I think it should be more of a fair playing ground with the father and son rule. I think the Carlton supporters are a little bit kind of, offensive towards it changing during the year
because obviously Canberra now. It's affecting us. It's
affecting you guys for next year. So what's his rating? What would his rating be, say, next year?
No, we don't know. I don't even know.
They'd know, mate. They'd know. They'd be a 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, we don't know. They're saying that one of them could be a top 10, and then the other one could be first round. Let's say in your team, right?
Yeah.
They're saying that we're not sure. We're not sure. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter.
It does matter because at the moment I can understand the father and son, but it's not just about the players want to play for their dad's team, and it's more about now being a fair playing ground. So Canberra is number 9 for next year. Can't finish on top of the ladder, So can't finish on top of the ladder, right? So they'll get number 9, won't they? They'll get number 9, regardless of the name. Don't worry about the name. They'll get number 9 because he'll go to Carlton, will he? So what is Carlton going to give? What is Carlton going to give to whoever should have got that player? You know what they're going to give him?
What I'm saying, there's a point system now. So we don't just get him.
That doesn't work, Rock. That doesn't work.
It does work because what happens is we gave up. No, it does work because we might have to give up. No, it does work, Mark. Because we might have to give up.
Got Dacos. He was was he number 1 or number 2? Magpie Manny. Dacos, number 1 or number 2?
He should have been 1. I think he went 2, but he should have been 1.
So Collingwood, I think we were high up the ladder. But anyway, so they got the number 1 draft pick, regardless if it was Dacos or not. They got the number 1 draft pick. Now you know what the other teams got for Dacos. They got a high 37 and 3 40s. Okay, they traded. Collingwood traded those players. Now the next year, or even up until now, those players haven't played one AFL game. So how's that a fair playing ground?
Mark, but Collingwood had to give up. Collingwood didn't just give up. They gave up draft picks. They gave up a lot of draft picks to accumulate that many points.
In the high 30s and low 40s.
But they had to accumulate the points.
So it's not a
That's
fair
what they
playing
did.
ground, Rock. That's what I'm trying to say. They're accumulating bullshit points. It's bullshit, mate. What if Harley Reid played for who finished on the top of the ladder last year? Collingwood?
Collingwood.
Yeah.
All right, so Harley Reid's dad played for Collingwood. Where would Harley Reid have gone to?
This
You would've gone
is
to
finished on top.
If-
Is she finished
but
on top?
you know that it doesn't automatically go to Collingwood. You know that.
I know that, but 99.9% they go to the
Oh,
choice. They go to that
They
club's
have
choice.
to give up. Like what you're doing is you're going to pick up one player and you're giving up 4 draft picks. You know that like teams, draft picks are important, man. Like you get your second and third rounders, mate. They make up your teams. You look at
That's what I'm
any
trying to say.
British
It's got to be
side,
valued, that draft pick. It's got to be a
No.
value, mate.
but
Maybe-
you're missing the point here, Mark. I'm not saying readjust it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you can't do that mid-season when you've already planned for it. If you're telling me to do it in 2025, all right, change the point system. Make it fairer. I understand. But they're changing it halfway, Mark.
Yeah, and I understand. I'm not going against that, Rocco. They should have changed it 5 years ago, mate. You know what I mean? It's a father and son. Don't get me wrong. It's
It
a
doesn't
proud
matter when they
moment.
change it, but they've got to give the clubs time.
Okay, so let them give the club time because obviously, you boys are a little bit concerned because it's Carberry Alley.
Or
But,
wouldn't you be?
You know,
Wouldn't
in
you
3
be?
years' time, in 3 years' time, maybe another Silvani might come along. He's number 2, but you won't get him now. You won't get him for that value. That's what I'm saying. It's more about the value.
No, they're not taking it away, Mark. You'll still get your
I
father
won't
and
never
son.
take father and son. It's the value of
What they'll do is
where they're at.
they'll readjust the point system where it's a little bit harder to get it. That's all they're going to do. I understand that. But we're the only bloody code in the world, right, that has to equalize every single team, right? Every single team. Like if you're at the bottom, they're gonna give you a chance. They don't do that in Premier League or in the Italian league. They don't do that in any other sport. But they do it here. We have to equalise it. They will help North Melbourne get back to the top. And I understand that. But sometimes, man, what about, like, in a way, I disagree with that. That's another topic now. I disagree with it. Because I'll give you an example. You run your business. You work hard to run your business. You do a good job. I'm going to start a business. It's going to be shit. And then the government's going to come in and go, you know what? I'm going to penalise you because you've been doing a great job and you're going to give some of your money to Rocco. So he's now fair. How would you feel then? And you go, man, I've been working hard for this. That bum's been sleeping on the couch all day. You know what I mean? So because Carlton and Collingwood and Richmond and Essendon, we work hard to get it. What, you think we just got our members? Like, we worked hard to get those fucking members. We work hard to get those sponsors. You know what I mean? And then you penalise us for it. All right, I accept it. But don't do it mid-year when we made plans. I'm telling you, if this happens, there's going to be an upheaval.
And you're not the only one, Rock. Like, I know it's like you said, it's big at the moment because, it's if Carlton's and it's affecting the Camperelli twins, but this is going to affect every club. And you can already see, I saw Vossi on 360 the other night and Longmuir was there too. None of them want this change midway through the year. And like I was saying, I was getting at it before, you've got to give, I think, the minimum for the amount of future. So if it's like, just say it's 2 years, you can trade a future pick. We can't bring this rule in for at least 2 years because there's clubs and everyone could be in the same boat where you've made plans, you've moved things around, you've shuffled things because you've got an idea of what you want and what pick you want. And all of a sudden it's going to be thrown out of the water. So I think it's definitely bring it in. I got no issue with bringing it in. I agree with you, Mark. Like it's definitely, there's aspects of unfairness to it, but I don't think it needs to be completely fair all the way around as well. I like father-son because it's unique. We're the only game or the only comp in the world that I know of that has a father-son rule. It's now father-daughter too. It's unreal. And yeah, exactly. It's tradition. It's one of the beautiful things about our game. There's nothing better than a father-son story. It's unreal. No one loves anything more than seeing, someone that their old man played for. You watch the dad play, now you get to watch the son play as well. It's unreal. So don't get rid of it, but leave the rule a few years before you bring it in. It's as simple as that.
This is how it does work something like this. Like the Kangaroos, for example, not that I don't think Camperelli is going to be number one pick. But let's say the Kangaroos, they can put a bid for the number one pick if it's a father and son. Did it happen 2 years ago with the Bulldogs?
No, I think Kangaroos put a bid on Dacos, didn't they? From memory, I think they knew they weren't going to get him, but they did it anyway just in case.
And in actual fact, Essendon put a bid on Silvani before our pick. He was in the second or third round, but they bid before us, and then we had to, because we were going to wait to a later pick, and we had to use our earlier pick to get him, or else Hughes would have got him. So there is a way for teams if you don't want him, but if you really want him, you're going to have to pay for it. But the main thing for me is don't do it halfway through the season. That's it, man.
Rocco, the only way this is going to change is if all of a sudden you've got 22 tycoons, all right, with plenty of money, and they buy and they have ownership of these clubs individually, and they can sit there and they can say to the AFL, you should stick a carrot up your ass. We own the team. We run the system, and this is the way it goes. But the biggest corrupted sport in the world is the AFL. It's corruption.
Nah,
don't tell me no. Don't tell me no.
Soccer.
One of the
biggest.
Talking
about the World Cup and that. Are you joking?
From being one of the biggest racist sports in the world.
Racist.
And thank God it's revolutionized itself. But I can tell you right now, the AFL controls everything. They control the teams. They control anything. But if you had an individual who owned the club and said, right, we can run the system. This is how much money we've got in the club. This is what we can do. This is what
I'll give you $3 million a year. Do you reckon you'll be a father son?
John, I'm an idiot because you've got no idea apart from football.
No, I don't think you've got
the other sports in the world.
And all that. What are you talking about? The biggest FIFA is the biggest corrupt, man. What are you talking about? They showed how corrupt FIFA and soccer is. You can't ever have, and I don't want people to own teams, because what happens is if you own teams, man, it just doesn't work. And even the soccer and that, they might be owned by particular people, but there's still a organization that runs it.
Yeah, but the AFL has control over everything.
You're trying to say that an organization like soccer, who have got billions of dollars as individual owners, doesn't corrupt a thing more than what our thing? Are you joking?
What I'm saying is that you've got one body, the AFL, and has control over everything.
They do all the sports.
Yeah, but the difference is if they see that like years ago they could see the teams were struggling, they do what they can, they manipulate to get everything up and running again. Come on, they run. The reality is that there's problems in the AFL, and the biggest problem is they have control over everything.
Anyway,
everything.
I think
that's my opinion, and that's what I read.
I think you've done the worst mannerisms I've ever heard in my life, man. To call AFL more corrupt than the FIFA's, fucking hell, man. Are you joking, man? Seriously, American sports. Do you know how corrupt they are? I actually believe we are one of the most proper bloody sports around the world.
Yeah. For sure.
Around the world. Well, what do they do that's corrupt, Manny?
For sure.
What do they do that's corrupt?
Well, look, they have control over everything.
But so does fucking FIFA, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
But
shut up.
I need to get rid of
just quickly, boys.
Stop. Let other people talk. Stop. You've gone too far. Go, Queen.
Sorry, just a quick sidetrack because I'm watching the comments, Rock. You wanted us to point him out. Scott the Blues is not watching live tonight, but he's jumped on to leave a couple of comments there. We met him on the weekend. Absolute champion of a bloke. Made a very long trip to get there as well. So I just wanted to shout him out while he was in the comments before he ducks off.
The Jew gentleman, Rocco, is the Don of the Carlton, and Queenie is dead set legend. Yeah, no, we did meet. He came along. He was really good. I enjoyed the chat with Scott the Blue. He's a good bloke, man. And, that was him. like if you look at the profile, that was him, man. Like when I seen him, like sometimes I haven't got it, but that was him, man. He came on, and it was him. I recognized him straight away. There you go. FIFA has control over soccer. NFL has control over gridiron. NBA has control over basketball. NBA over baseball. What are you talking about? There's always a controlling, governing body, mate. What are you talking about, right? How can we be more corrupt than billionaires who run their clubs? Come on, bro.
And Rat Poison's actually pointed out a good one as well. Remember how OJ got off? And that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, well, that was another. How did he get off? Anyway, the point is, I don't know if you want to keep on going. We're kind of like pushing for time here. That's it. That's all I got to say. We'll see what happens. To tell you the truth, I don't think they're going to do the change this week. And Paul did come up with a good point I never thought about. You got to be careful the way that these stories come out. It could be a way for the AFL just to have a feel of how everyone feels about certain decisions. Yeah, we'll put that out there. We'll see what everyone says, and then they make their decisions after that, because there's no real decision being made. It's just that we might be doing it. So would I put it past them to feed out little bits of information that they want to be fed, that they want to feed out to people? Of course. I think that's a good explanation, So I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I think it will happen in maybe 2025 and give clubs 13 months to work it out, So
yeah. And one more one too. This isn't a topic to debate or anything like that, but just quickly, because this is something I haven't heard before. GWS star Sam Taylor out indefinitely with ruptured testicle. I don't know how many of you guys have heard about that injury before, but that does not sound pleasant at all. None of us are Giants fans, but geez, I am feeling for Sam Taylor right now. That is miserable.
As soon as you said it, I already started. No, there has been another play, and I reckon someone else is going to say it in the chat. I do remember another play where that's happened.
I'm going to go check my Bolinas.
Yeah.
Mark, don't forget your microscope.
Where's he going?
I'll just
might actually check. There
Mark.
it is.
There's Mark. That's
Red Sox did it apparently.
Far out. Imagine that ruptured.
Yates.
There you go. Yates. Didn't know that. Yates ruptured by Dermy. Of course, Dermy would be the one who bloody does that. All right. Where is Mark? Where does he go to?
You might actually be checking.
It's so peaceful when he leaves. Is he the one who's causing all this bloody friction within the Fourever rivals, you reckon?
I'm not sure. I think he goes for a quick puff of the cigarette.
Who knows? I reckon he goes for a quick pump of the drugs. Before we move on to the games, anyone in the chat, we're going to give you one last chance. First of all, push the like and subscribe. Listen, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Everyone subscribe to the channel. Let's get on there. Another thing, has anyone got a question before we move on? I'll give you a minute or so. Anyone got a question to ask the Fourever rivals about the AFL? Because we'll get to the games in a second. So
there you go. Steel side bottom ruptured it as well. So there's a few ruptured testicles I didn't know about, clearly.
Wow.
See you at the Richmond game. Apparently side bottom ruptured the two. So there must be a few, man. Well, far out, man. Like it would happen. Oh, here you go. Everyone's onto you, man. How was the jab, Mark? You find the vein?
Go straight up the upper pistol, mate. Doesn't worry about the vein.
He goes straight up the upper pistol. All right.
That's for you, man.
All right, that's a good
we did that, didn't we?
I've got something quickly for you, and then we'll move on. It's about you, Marco.
Thank you, Bello.
And your spud side, right? This is about you and your Spud side, right? I got
That's the
something for
Spud
you.
Cup, mate. That's
You
called the
talk
Spud
about
Cup.
you talk about coming over. You want to now be like full time at the MCG because you reckon you're a big club and you should be. But I found out during the week that you've made a deal with Marvel, right? That every little bit of merchandise that gets sold out of Marvel, you get a percentage out of it.
Yeah, spot
Every
on.
bit of food that comes out of Marvel, Essendon get a percentage of it, right? So everything, because they did this deal, because they were the first club to sign with Marvel.
Yeah.
They were the first club. So you've got this special deal, right? And now you want to you go, oh, we should be playing more. Well, if you're going to do that, mate, you're going to have to give up the spandulas, mate, and move over to the.
We'll make lots more, mate. We'll make triple more if we go to the MCG, mate. The fans will come out there. We'll have 70 or 80,000 Bomber supporters at the MCG every week, mate. They wouldn't do it if they're going to lose money.
Hey, Mark,
they're going there to make money, mate.
if you're playing against Gold Coast Suns,
yeah,
you're playing against Gold Coast Suns, you'd be lucky if you get 50,000.
Essendon supporters at what? MCG?
Yeah.
We'll get 50,000. Don't worry, mate. Once we're up and running, once the Bombers, once we're up and running, mate, you'd be quite surprised.
You have to be up and running.
When your team wins, mate. When your team wins,
I don't rely on teams. I don't rely on teams to be up and running. All right, that's the thing. It's a business.
It is a business
to running.
Well, if it's a business, obviously, why would they want to go to the MCG then?
Collingwood, Carlton, Richmond, they get the numbers. Whether you like it or not, we get the numbers. Unfortunately, Essendon, stick to Marvel. Stick to Marvel. That's a good sized ground for an average team. Right? Leave the big clubs with the big stadiums.
I think Hectic Lebo is a new
Lebo cars.
Man, you got to win a final first. You got to get there first. I reckon. You know what everyone should do? Everyone should go on to bet deluxe or whatever betting. I'm not saying bet responsibility, but I'm telling you, there's good money for Essendon to miss the finals. I think they're paying about $5. I reckon it's a good sure bet. You're a bit of a better, Manny. What do you reckon? $5 for Essendon to miss the finals. I reckon that's a good bet.
I think Essendon, the way they're going at the moment, potentially, yeah, they because look, the reality is, as you pointed out last week, Rocco, they really haven't played any team that has been in the top 8. Apart from Collingwood, where they drew, they played against Carlton. Carlton gave them a good spanking. It was a solid spanking. No saliva there.
Yeah, right.
So you've got to look at it. Reality is that there was a lot of slapping there, matey. You know what I mean?
A little bit. It was a bit more like this.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. Yeah, that was Greek style there. Look, the reality is
we're still sitting on the top 4, mate, and we've had the bye as well. We've had 2 losses. We've had the last 2 losses, and we've had the bye. Well,
guys are definitely making history.
Well,
guys are making history.
To win a final on Sportsbet is $3. If you want to lose money, you'd probably put money on that. You know what you do? Whatever you're going to put on that bet there, just throw it in the fire and burn it.
Hey, Rocco, one of our viewers asked a question about further up. It was asking about whether or not the way the home and away is set up, where you got Collingwood that plays Carlton twice this year, and Essendon is complaining because they're only playing Carlton once. So
I don't know what to do about that. You can't when you've got 18 teams and you've got a 24-week bloody fixture. How do you fix that? How can you fix it? Like there's no, like you were saying about equalisation and that AFL is never going to be equal because first of all you don't play each other twice. That's the first thing. Second of all, like you play one team twice. You play another team once that year. You know what I mean? The other thing is home ground. You know, like Adelaide, and they got an advantage. Don't tell me they haven't. Yeah, we might have a bit of advantage playing finals here, but let's be realistic. We play at this G. Like Collingwood can't play. Whose home game is it?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So there's, you know, and then Geelong get to play their games at bloody, even though they've been shit house this year, and so is thing. But still, I'd rather have a home fucking ground like Princess Park and play there bloody 11 times a year. I'll tell you right now.
Big statement there, Rocco. You're playing them this week. That's a, you know,
What statement did I make?
that they're shit house this year.
How many games have they've been losing at bloody Cardinia Park?
Is it called Cardinia Park?
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called, that's what it is. It's like Princess Park. That's how it's going to be known, right? At Cardinia Park, right? The first time in years they've been losing games there.
It's like Brisbane over there.
We were just talking about advantages. I just said usually they got a strong advantage. This year it's like bloody Adelaide, or it's like Brisbane. They didn't lose last year, and this year now they can't win.
But it's, you know, but that's the thing though, isn't it? You know, you talk about Essendon, and of course Essendon's money hungry, and I don't blame them. I mean, you know, they've got a, you know, the ground's on, you know, a field of spuds down at Winter Hill there. But look at Geelong when they've had to change from Geelong to play in the MCG because they know that they're going to make an extra whatever they're going to make there. So
no, in actual fact, it's not about the money, man. It's to get the fans in. They actually make $500,000 a year on $500,000 a game. They make more money at Cardinia Park than they'll ever make at the G.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh well, okay. Well, that's something I didn't know.
They're huge, man. Like, don't worry about that, man. They'd rather play there as far as the money goes. So that's it. Yeah. So, and maybe this is a good point. At least they could play everyone once before we double up. Like sometimes you're playing 2 games before you've even played another team. Like, I don't know. I reckon we're playing Collingwood twice before we play Hawthorn.
Yeah.
We've got
West Coast this week.
Port Adelaide twice.
We've played West Coast twice.
Melbourne twice. Like, and then we haven't even played Hawthorn yet.
Well, I think Essendon plays West Coast 3 times.
No, we play West Coast this week, but we haven't played Geelong, Hawthorn. So, I don't think that's a fair playing ground as well. And I reckon the bye, we won't throw it right into it today, but the bye should be equal as well. None of this, you know, after round 14, you get a bye. What is that?
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
We haven't played Philly yet.
Oh.
That's true. Yeah, see, like this is true. Geelong needs 75K at the G on a home ground before they break even. And, you know, like Essendon have got a better deal than the other people like North Melbourne and the Bulldogs and Marvel. Like, at Marvel,
that's why we're the richest club, mate.
Like someone like the Bulldogs have to get like 35,000 before they break even. And North Melbourne, they don't even get 20,000, you know, and they, like, I reckon they lose money every bloody week. These, mate, we're lucky to be in a position where our clubs like just bring in the crowd, you know, and help it out. Because can you imagine having that stress from Rat Poison? Hi, Rocco. Hi, mate. And that's it. All right. I reckon that's been good. Do you want to go? You want to get to the games, people?
Let's get stuck in.
A couple this week, wasn't it?
I reckon we do. First of all, let's go into this one here. Let's go into. We did have a game over the weekend, and it all started on Saturday night. Here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I reckon Mark's going to have something to say here, but what's that? That's 6-13-49 to 14-13, 97. And you were there, Quinny, because you were late to our show. You picked Dusty over us, but that's up to you. You were there. We'll leave this to Quinny, and then Mark, I'm sure, has got his say about this. But I'll leave it to Quinny.
There's not really much to say, mate, honestly.
No, I know what you're going to say, but they should have played Busty the week before and all that.
Before you say anything, hey, Quinn, before you start, was the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, was that organised that way for Dusty to score?
It felt scripted, didn't it? It did. It
corrupt. Betting.
It felt like there was a script. Dusty kicks that goal in the 4th minute of the game. So number 4, Dustin Martin, in the 4th minute of the game, kicks that goal. Mate, I tell you, like, obviously you guys, Manny would know, he was there recently, but the other two, probably haven't been to a grand final in a very long time. But Dustin, like, it felt grand final atmosphere when he kicked that goal. 92,000 people at the MCG went absolutely bonkers. There were Hawthorn supporters next to me clapping. Like, it was nuts. They went absolutely bonkers when he kicked that goal. Obviously downhill from there, but that one moment, it just, I don't know. As a Richmond supporter, going there to watch your champion, seeing him kick that, the way the crowd went nuts, the players went nuts, it was phenomenal. And then, obviously you skipped to after the match. He spoke in front of the crowd with Jack Rowell interviewing him. He did the interview no one thought he was going to do. He did the walk around. He waved at everybody. He's grabbing his jumper. It was special, and it was special to have the crowd that we had there as well.
He was walking around like that. That was good at the end. He was like
doing these ones.
He was pumping.
He was doing these ones. But I tell you, I was with my sister, and I looked at her and I said, because, obviously, young people, not that I'm that old, but young people on their phones all the time. And I looked at her, I said, just for 30 seconds, I said, don't worry about filming anything. I said, because the way he's waving goodbye, the speech that he just gave, I said, I would not be surprised if this is his last game. I said, just soak it up. It could be the last time you ever see Dustin Martin on the MCG. So I said, just soak it in. And look, he said in the interview later that he will be back. So hopefully that's the case. But it was a special moment to be there. And I think, honestly, the result was put on the back burner a little bit because of just the overwhelming response to Dusty on the night. So I thought it was great.
Just quickly before you keep going, Paulie, hey Rocco, I'm a Collingwood supporter, but still love the show. So that's great to see, man. We want the other supporters. So welcome, mate. Welcome, mate.
Yeah, man, you got a fan.
Paul reckons that sports are scripted.
That's why I love wrestling so much.
He's using gematria. He's using a Greek word there.
That's right. You know what that means?
I know what it means, mate.
What does it mean? Tell us the people.
Well, basically what it means is a total when you sum something up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's good. That was a good explanation. I thought that was going to be better than that. But
that's what it means.
Yeah. So I actually watched the highlights of that, and it was good to see him being celebrated. 300 was good. I've got a question for everyone. Since we go to is he the best finals player ever to play the game? And if not, who is?
Dunstall.
No, Dunstall.
Dunstall's a legend.
Best.
What has that got to do with finals, man? We're talking about finals, man. Like he wasn't the best on ground in finals.
He wasn't.
He was never once the best on ground. Wow. He's a legend of a player. I don't know. Open up your ears, mate. I asked you. You know what Manny does? He doesn't listen to your questions, right? He just talks. I asked a simple question. I'm going to start. I know what Quinny's going to say. Is Dusty the best finals player ever to play the game? And if not, who it is? We've got a few. Lou Ferrino says the Dominator. Dominator was a great mate. They say with the Dominator, he was like he was built for finals. But he never won a Norm Smith, never won the Gary Ayres, never did any of that. He did win 4 grand finals and was instrumental in each one, but Free Norm Smiths, man. That's fucking, and free Gary Ayres, mate. That's hard to beat.
It
Someone
certainly
did
come close,
say,
didn't it?
someone did say hungry. That would have been Kevin Bartlett. He was a
Hey,
good fighter when he
No,
kicked
I
that
think the
seven.
greatest,
I
the
don't think-
greatest.
Yep.
I think the greatest for me, for Rock would be Wayne Carey. That's but Quinn, honestly, Dusty would be probably in the top 5 for me. But yeah, Wayne Carey for me, the best finals player.
Wayne
You
Carey
can just change it now.
only won 2 grand finals. He wasn't the best on ground. He lost other grand finals when he was captain.
I think his presence. Now, if we're starting to look at statistics and how many Norm Smiths and so forth,
Yeah.
I think I'm referring to just presence on the field. I think Wayne Carey and I reckon Dusty are a close second, and Voss would be a close third as well, in the top 5. So, I reckon a finals player. He just the presence of being on the ground and just showing his strength and authority on the game.
Dusty did all that. His presence on the ground was huge.
Of course, I'm not saying that he wasn't, but he wouldn't be in my top 5 at least.
Yeah, I can say Dusty's also, and shout out to Vincenz there in the comments, but I think Dusty for mine as well. He's one of only 2 players ever to have 20 or more disposals and 3+ goals in multiple grand finals. It was him and Barry Cable. And I think it's the Norm Smiths are obviously record breaking. Like no one's ever won 3. He's the only player to ever have 3, but it's the 3 Gary Ayres medals that go along with that as well. Because it wasn't just the grand finals, it was the whole final series that he stood up and brought us to flags. All these other players, I really can't comment on. Like Voss, Mark, you spoke about, I was 7 when Voss was playing in grand finals, Carey, I didn't see any of him. KB, I've seen highlights, kicked 8 against Collingwood in a winning grand final, but I wasn't around. So for me, it's always going to be Dusty. From what I've seen, recent bias maybe, but I don't think it's for me it's hard
maybe
to look past.
10 years time, Quinn, you might say a Dacos or something in 10 years time, or a Campriali, or you might say one of those players in 10 years time.
But we're talking right now. Of course, in 10 years time, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm talking right now, right? Yeah. Of course, in 10 years time, I don't know. What if Cripper wins the next 5 and best on ground? Yeah.
That's right.
You don't know. But what I'm saying is right now.
It's hard for Quinn. It's hard for Quinn to say any other player. That's exactly what he's saying. It's hard. Quinn's saying it's hard for him to choose any other player because he wasn't around it. He was around maybe, but he probably just.
You're talking about past now, and then you went to the future. What if Dacos or?
No, in the near future, Quinn might say
4-time premiership player.
But at the moment,
yeah.
Of course he's going to say Dusty. Yeah. Okay. Well, of course he's going to say Dusty. I'm saying
right now.
What I've seen
right now. Yeah, Dusty will go down. He's a superstar. Yeah.
McLeod
down or he is
1-2, but he
go
didn't
down, or is he number 1 to you, Manny?
What's that?
Is he number 1 to you, or is he going to go down as being one of the best players? That's the question Rocco's asking. Who's the best player in finals? Do you think
right now, because we're talking about right now?
No,
I'll say Dusty. But as far as I'm concerned, Dunstall, 4-time premiership player. He scored the most goals for about 10, 11 years in a row, 12 years in a row.
But Manny, you're missing the point. That's not finals. So then why don't we talk about fucking Michael Tuck, who won 7?
Michael Tuck, bring a player.
But you're missing the point. Why did you say you said Dunstall? Why didn't you say Michael Tuck?
Because Dunstall won games.
Yeah, but he wasn't best on ground for the grand finals.
All right, so we're talking about Norm Smith. All right, yeah, Dusty.
Yeah. Right. I'm not talking about Norm Smith. I'm talking about finals. I said Dusty. Finals.
Yeah. Okay. Dusty.
Includes your grand final.
We'll give it to Dusty. We'll give it to Dusty.
Player.
We'll give it to Dusty.
Yeah, man. Like when I do jumper punch, I finish relaxed, right? But when I do this, man, it's like you deliberately go to fucking just just
But-
wreck everyone's brain. You don't
But-
listen to what people have to say. All you
But-
do is you've got something scripted there
But-
and you just want to talk. For
But
fuck's sakes, mate.
if you're going to talk about a player who's got 100% record at the moment, Bobby Hill.
How's he got 100%? Fucking he's got 100%. What are you talking about? He played in 3 and he won 3.
Yeah.
So
No,
how's he
he
got
That's
a
100% too.
Playing 4.
What? No, he never.
Is he playing 3?
Shut up, Manny. Please, Manny.
3.
Right.
Shut up. Let the big
There you
boys
go.
talk
So-
here. I don't
so-
want to hear from
there
you
you go.
anymore. I reckon,
Quinn,
to me,
on the game, on the Richmond
me
and Hawthorn game,
overall, there's some great
Yeah.
final players. As I said, the Dominator
Yeah.
was
There
built
is.
for finals, right?
Seba, say hello, Seba. Seba, say hello.
But to
There
me,
you go, buddy.
that sort of record, the 3 wins, 3 Norm Smiths, 3 Gary Ayres, it's going to be hard to beat, man.
well,
Rocco.
obviously, Quinn, that's the only thing you can
Rocco.
lead with, mate. Dusty playing his 300th because
Dusty is a
Richmond-
legend.
Richmond really did not come to play for his 300th, mate. I expected a lot more from the Richmond Tigers, being such a 93,000 supporters out there. I think there's something seriously wrong at Richmond, mate. Did you guys have a few players back as well, apparently, or you haven't be having close to your top team now, would you? Or
Oh, yeah, we had a couple back. We're still missing a few. We had a couple back, yeah.
you had a couple, so you're still missing what, 2 or 3 maybe major players?
Thanks, John. I love
Probably about
playing
3 or 4, yeah.
3 or 4, yeah. So I reckon there's something wrong at Richmond, mate, and I've got a funny feeling I know why Hardwick had left you guys
come on.
halfway through the year. So
Hey, Mark.
I would have expected Richmond to put on a better performance than that, mate. I'm disappointed that when I saw it on the AFL app there that you guys went down by, was it 40 points? 40 points, 35 points or something.
Yeah, 48.
Disappointing, mate. Obviously, it was a good send-off for Dusty. That was probably the only limelight for it. But like you were saying, he's probably gone now, and there's another player you're going to be missing. So I think Richmond are going to be in some serious trouble in the next. Maybe have you got the young boys coming as the father and son? Maybe Peter Knight's son or something. Or
We've got a father-son playing with us at the moment, but he's injured.
who's that?
Morris Rioli.
Who's that? Morris Rioli. There you go, Morris Rioli. What was he at? What pick was he at?
I don't remember. It was a
he
few
high?
years ago.
High or mid?
Nah, he wouldn't
So,
have been high.
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember. It was a few years ago.
Congratulations to Dusty again. Sorry, mate, but I still believe it would have been fantastic for a win against Adelaide at their home ground. But it was good to see that there was close to 90-odd thousand or more than 90-odd thousand people go out and send him off, or I reckon send him off for his 300th. So kudos to Dusty, but disappointing on the effort from the Richmond Tigers.
Mark, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something?
But
Right now, if you're comparing the Bombers, right?
I'm not comparing anyone.
And Hawthorn, no, you don't. But I'm telling you, if you're comparing right now Hawthorn and the Bombers, right? Now you guys have been lucky that you've played bottom teams and you're just sitting where you're just sitting, but it won't be for too long. Because believe me, if you look at the way Hawthorn, they were unlucky against Adelaide where they copped that goal in the last second and they lost. They would have been Port Adelaide. They would have been knocking just outside the 8.
Yeah. So you actually think,
outside the 8.
you actually think Hawthorn are good, do you?
I reckon Hawthorn's going to play finals football.
Hawthorn's won
Oh,
7
we
out
beat
of
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn.
They won 7 of the last 8.
They won 7 out of their last 8 games, mate. And they lost to Port Adelaide in the last second.
But we beat Hawthorn, so we beat Hawthorn. So
No, but you beat them off earlier on the start of the year.
right, now it's early between now and later. Now if we play Geelong, then we beat them. You're going to say, oh, you only played Geelong because they were down.
No, I say that, but you just
We
said
can only
we
beat
beat.
in front of us, mate. We can
said
only
we
beat in front of us.
You just said that we beat Hawthorn, and well done. You beat Hawthorn, and it's good. But in the last 8 weeks, they won the informed side of the competition.
Okay, good on them. I think they might lose a few games, and they'll go back to
They
square
might,
one.
but
again.
You know what's funny about you? They might do this. My grandma might have balls. Like at the end of the day,
I do know exactly.
In the last 8 weeks,
that number two position is warmed up for us.
In the last 8 weeks, Mark, Hawthorn have won 7 out of 8 games, and the only side they lost to was Port Adelaide, who scored 2 goals in 30 seconds at the end to take it. They were unlucky there. So they're in form. They're more informed than you guys.
Yeah, that's okay. We might hit
they're
some
more
form
than you guys.
We might hit some form.
Take your spot in the 8.
I know that your boys are just warming up our seat, mate. Because after this week, we'll be sitting on your spot, mate. Number 2, it's warmed up for us, buddy.
At the end of the day, all right, if you wanna do that, I've got something for you. Let's have a look at your. Let's have a look at your position on the ladder. You've beaten the bottom 7 sides, mate.
And we'll beat the next top 8 sides. So let it go. We'll beat the next top 8 sides.
I would just quietly shut up and just play a week at a time, mate.
We are playing a week at a time. That's what I'm saying. Number 2 position will be nice and warm for us. Nice and warm.
There's a big slide. There's a big slide from 3 to 9th. I'm telling you now, mate. Everyone take the $5.
Number 2 position.
But anyway, you brought it back. You brought it back to you guys when we were talking about Hawthorn and Richmond.
Yeah, the one thing I actually did agree with, Mark, is I did expect a little bit more out of the boys. I thought they would have lifted a little bit more, but I've no means expected to beat Hawthorn with the form that they're in. And to say that there's something wrong at Richmond when we're clearly just a team that's been on the end of a successful period and we're at that bottom phase and we're going to work our way back up. There's certainly nothing wrong at Richmond at the moment. With the injuries we've had, the inconsistencies we've had, the phase that we're in after being in that successful era, no one stays at the top for that long unless you're a freak like Geelong somehow in Sydney. Most teams dip. You guys have been dipping for 25 years now. Carlton for nearly 30. Everyone dips and stays there for periods of time. So there's nothing wrong at Richmond. We're just in that transition phase.
At least,
I think you guys are more accepted. I think you guys are more accepted to it because you've won the flags. But if you hadn't won those flags, I think there'd be some serious problems. So obviously, everyone's like,
Of course, after you win those flags, there's a price. You can't just win flags every single year. There's a price. You don't pick up the early draft picks. The older players retire like all of ours have. You think about the blokes that were playing in our flags, half of the team is gone now. Jack Reward, Trent Cotchin, Shane Edwards, Kane Lambert, all these guys are all retired. Alex Rance, they're all retiring. All Australian players, they're gone. So you got to restart from the beginning.
You're also going to start losing a few more like Dusty. Some of the players are getting a lot older now as well. So I'm not saying, So that's why I believe that I think you guys might be in a bit of trouble in the next few years because it could be recruiting a little bit and you're losing too much of your older players too quickly. If you know where I'm coming from, you probably haven't got.
Do you know they reckon that the Essendon Football Club is, out of the big clubs, the Essendon Football Club is the slowest growing club when it comes to supporters?
Well, I think
we've been there, mate.
You're listening. They reckon over the last 10 years, the Essendon Football Club has been very, very slow in the way it's getting because you guys haven't been achieving anything. And it's been like that. And the problem is, right, like you did the wrong thing, right? And which for me, you've punished those poor kids because they had to be Essendon because you were Essendon. They haven't seen anything. They've seen no finals. They've seen nothing at the moment. And, and they're praying. And you know what? And for you, I'm praying that you guys at least play one game of finals, right? So the kids can get that feeling they can say, yeah, the Bombers play finals. But clubs like Collingwood, Carlton, they get the memberships because they're clubs with they've got personalities, they've got the right methods, the way they show, the way they promote, the way they do everything. But the Bombers at the moment,
the Bombers, mate, you're lucky the Bombers are still in the AFL, mate. After what happened,
can I just say something?
Like guinea pigs, mate. If it wasn't for the supporters, the AFL would be finished by now.
I gotta move this on. Open your ears, fuck yous, when I'm talking. Frankie's right. at least we're not a team that's we were sitting second on the ladder when we played, and then halfway through the fucking last quarter left in fucking droves. A team that's the only bit of success they've seen in years left in droves. They've got no faith in your club, mate.
We just want to win. That's why we're there to just win.
Well, if that doesn't happen, then you know that just doesn't happen. Who wants to support a cheating team? That's very true. No one wants to. If you want to support a team, at least you want a team that's like, you want a team that's fair. You want a team, yeah, they're there.
Hey, be careful if you're going to buy any inhalers around the Essendon area, because they've been told around pharmacies that they're actually may not have what they're supposed to have.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this fucking Vergonya of a game. Here you go, Manny. This is for you. 94, 118, 18-11.
Good old Collingwood.
All right, I've actually been looking for this. I want to hear Manny's explanation of how they bet a side that's won one game and it's won 4 games over 2 years, how they're 54 points down. And then let me finish my statement. I just want to hear explanation how you bet a team who is at the bottom of the ladder. The only team they beat was West Coast, who are third last, right? A team that's only won 3 games in 2 years, right? Being punished. Their percentage is about 50. Were 54 points up many times. At one stage 48, then 54. Then you come back and win against a bunch of kids. They probably like shit themselves, right? And you come back and win by a point with controversial decisions at the end. And did you see the social media of the Collingwood supporters, how happy they were that they beat North Melbourne by a point? I'll let you talk now. Explain to you how happy
I don't think it's the fact that they're happy because they won by a point. They're just happy that we came back and we won, because full credit to North Melbourne. And, I'm not making excuses here, but I reckon any side that plays against Collingwood always steps up to the plate. It's one of those things that, we're playing the Magpies. We're going to give it our hardest. But having said that, there's no excuses. They dominated. Their midfield, their pressure was over 200. They absolutely dominated. Our midfield was shocking. Right?
Good old umpires forever.
The only thing I could say is that we had Maynard's 200, which almost got spoilt, and that would have been really, really sad. But look, it was a good comeback. We shouldn't have left. We shouldn't have allowed.
I'd rather lose.
That's his 300th. That's his 300th was spoiled, was it?
Any other side would have fucking finished you off there. North Melbourne just didn't have.
Spot on, Rock.
They just didn't have the composure, man. It's like you played like the Big M Little League. But the question still remains: how did you let North Melbourne beat 54 points and dominate the game? I'm telling you, if they had just a little bit more experience, they would have finished you off.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it was our inexperience.
I love the way you talk over me. Keep going.
Well, because you give me 2 minutes to talk about the game, and you want to sit there. All right,
I'm going to let you continue. I'm posing the question. You went on about how they won. I'm asking you, how do you let North Melbourne? How do you let North Melbourne be 54 points up? See, that's if I went back into the rooms as the coach, that's what I'd be asking. Forget about the comeback against a bunch of kids. Forget about that, right? You should be fucking winning that game.
Look,
the question is, how did you allow this to happen?
Rocco, listen, whether we should have or we shouldn't have, at the end of the day, we won it. A lot of controversy about the fact that maybe we should have lost it. Great comeback. Yeah, 54 points. We shouldn't have allowed that gap to happen. That 54 points should never happen. No, you're right. We're missing Myercheck. We're missing McStay. We're missing Elliott. We're missing Cox. And we've got young players.
Did you say Cox?
Yeah,
Did
we've
you
got
say
young
Cox?
players.
The worst fucking player in the competition.
We've got a young side. We got young boys that have
You've got
that have
like
had
fucking
their,
20 premiership players in there. What are you talking about? You played North Melbourne, bottom of the ladder, and they were 54 points up, mate.
Yeah, we had a player who was celebrating his 200th game.
So?
Yeah. I'm just saying, we had a player that was celebrating his 200th game. And,
it's funny, Manny, that there was
200 games. Then he played 300, and then we'll celebrate him.
We can always blame the umpires and that, Manny, for obviously North Melbourne not getting the 4 points. But I reckon the most important play of that game towards the end was that reject player from Carlton, Zach Fisher. I think really he should have kicked that goal. If he kicked that goal, no excuses with umpires and so forth. Sorry,
it wasn't even that goal, because that goal, like, it's a snap. It can go either way. He was
30 metres out snapping the ball, mate. So
I'm not blaming him.
We had a player who was playing his first game. We had a player who was playing his first game.
The problem is, it wasn't even that, Mark. It was his kicking the previous goal. That was the problem. That was the problem. I don't blame him missing that. I mean, he's under pressure there. Like, I don't blame him, but the kicking.
But I'm just saying that we're all making other excuses. But at the end of the day, he should have nailed that goal.
If a team wins by 100 points, how many points do they get? 4 points?
Guys are missing. They're missing confidence.
If they win by a point, how many points do they get? 4 points. I rest my case, Your Honour.
Do you think seriously that you think your coach is going to go in there and going to be happy with that?
No team will be happy. No, and he won't be happy.
So Stan, we're not talking about the 4 points. When they go in and talk about your game.
He doesn't have to be happy.
When they talk about your game,
they came back.
They talk about your game, what did I say, man? When they talk about your game,
they did really, really well to come back. Maynard celebrates 200 games. We had a one-gamer.
Don't make me do it. Manny, I'm asking you a question. Asking me a question.
All right.
I'm asking you a question. We discussed this before the show. Right?
What's your question, Rocco?
I've asked you like 20 times.
What's your question, Rocco?
How do you allow a team like North Melbourne to be 54 points up?
You don't allow it.
My God, you love like
you don't allow it, Rocco.
How do you justify that? How do
you don't allow it. You can't justify it, Rocco.
So you can't justify it. You just beat the bottom of the ladder. That's it. Forget about your stupid comeback. Forget about it. You beat the Big M Little League. That's what you did.
Yeah, it's true. And soon, I'm going to say to you, which teams have you bet in the top 8? Which teams have you bet?
Are they an AFL team?
The North by 1 point.
We bet you.
Are they an AFL team?
We bet you.
You didn't beat Carlton.
We bet you.
You didn't beat Collingwood.
We bet you. We were undermanned that day, and you just bet us in the last 10 seconds, you dud. Shut up.
Is it really? Yeah. Is that your fucking excuse? Fuck it. Hey, stick to it.
We played terrible, and you just bet us. We played terrible. We played the worst game of the year outside of Sydney, and you had to have a miraculous goal to beat us, mate.
Yeah. Well, we actually
anyway,
didn't play well at all.
About your shit. Don't worry about Carl. We're second on the ladder. Talk about your crap, how you beat North Melbourne by a point.
We actually didn't play that well. No. We didn't play that well against Carlton anyway. And we beat Carlton. So, look, you can't make excuses, Rocco. At the end of the day, the reality is they didn't play good football. It's only after half time when they decided to put the paces in there, and full credit to Nick Dacos.
North Melbourne
Dacos.
are just too young and too inexperienced to control that game.
And
Man,
Nick
any other
Dacos,
team
mate,
would have.
what a great second half by Nick Dacos.
It was, wasn't it?
And you know what? This coach that North Melbourne has, who's supposed to be supposedly a legendary coach because he's won so many premierships and he's done this and he's done that and whatever. But the player who was on Nick Dacos, he was actually killing Nick Dacos, and then they decided to take him off. I think that was a mistake by the coach because it wouldn't have probably made that much of a difference because the momentum changed. But having said that, Collingwood won. They got the 4 points. That's where it counts. But Nick Dacos, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, he was brilliant.
Lucky
Did you go to the game, Manny?
You know I didn't go to the game.
Yeah, so that's the whole issue, man.
Well, no issue there. There was no issue there.
Fair weather fucking supporter. That's what you are. Fair weather supporter, mate. Even not fair weather.
No, I don't like playing under the roof.
No, you don't like playing. You don't like going anywhere, man. I don't like playing under the roof.
I like when they open the roof.
You're not. First of all, you're not playing, Manny. That's the first thing. You're not playing. So that's the first thing. So
Regardless.
I don't like playing under the roof. You're playing nothing. You barely make it to the ground.
Doesn't matter.
Let
It's
alone
what I like.
play.
I like to see the roof open.
What
I
do
love
you
to see
like?
the roof open.
In
Fresh
what
air,
games?
the sun, the clearing.
In what games? In what games? What games this year have you enjoyed the roof
I haven't.
or non-roof? What
haven't.
game? What
I
game
haven't.
have you enjoyed the open air?
I haven't.
What game have you enjoyed the open air?
Every game I've gone to at the MCG.
Yeah, which has been what? Which ones did you go to this year? I know the exact ones you went to. You went to
Go on,
one
tell me.
game this year. You went to
Tell me.
one game in round 15. Magpie Manny's been to one game. Hit the road. Let's go into some
One
serious
game.
shit here. One game. You're the worst fucking supporter, mate. You're the worst. The worst. And then he tries to justify a 1 point win against the bottom of the
I'm not
ladder.
justifying it.
Well
No, not at all.
Well
Not at all.
done, mate. Well
But
done.
a win's a win.
Well done. Yeah,
A win's a win.
Yeah, all right. Good on you. I hope
win's
you
a
take
win.
that into next week. You're probably going to lose the bye this week. You shit house. All right.
You're funny, Rocco. You're funny.
I
Hey,
am
Rocco,
funny,
you're
and you
funny,
know
mate.
I'm funny. All right, let's move on to some serious business. You keep dwelling. Did you watch the replay of your fucking 1 point win? Let's go into this one. This is yours. I've been asking you to actually do some research, and maybe you can do a good job here. Let's go.
All right. Well, what can I tell you, mate? Sydney is the team to beat this year at the moment.
We have beaten
Carlton
them.
Carlton, the only team that's actually beaten them is, I think, it's Richmond, isn't it? But look, Carlton is looking good there. They're sitting second, equal points with the Magpies. But having said that, Carlton's got one game less. And the Bombers, have a look at that. 2, 3, and 4. You know, Essendon, no matter how hard they try, they've always got a shit fucking percentage. I don't know how they struggle like that. But I can tell you right now, if Essendon don't win the next couple of games, Hawthorn is going to go on top of them. Hawthorn's going to go on top of them. But there's going to be okay, so we've got the Blues, Collingwood, and the Bombers. And then, of course, we've got Richmond. And I mean, look at Richmond. They're sitting there by themselves. You know, North Melbourne's trying to keep them comfortable. But, yeah, it's going to be a long, long season. Long.
It already is a long season. It already is.
I have to say that was you're getting better at that, man. So you must be practicing. That's pretty good, mate. That's pretty good. Yeah,
Doing very well, Manny.
How about Manny? How about Melbourne? Just look, there are a few sides that are really like. We can talk about that when we go through our teams here, but there are a few teams that Port Adelaide, Melbourne. Just I don't know what's going on with these teams. All right, do you want to go into? Oh, well, we did go into the ladder. Does everyone want to just have a look at this one more time? We'll go over the Essendon wins.
Now,
Just
the
Just
draw.
so everyone knows, 18th, 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th, 11th. And the only team you beat was GWS the 7th. So no, good stuff, mate. I
The
would be
challenge is
proud.
coming now. The challenge is coming.
Hang on, what about the draw? Isn't the draw? The draw is like a win. It's not a loss,
Well, for
but it's
them,
not a
it is.
win. But it's still 2 points.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
all
you
right.
know, Carlton haven't been really Carlton haven't been really convincing this year, also, Rocco. So on
Yeah.
Saturday night, me and Manny were sitting there while you guys were doing your mid-season report there, and you know, every game that you put on, you know, me and Manny kept on. You know,
Let's see. We beat Freo at the
hold on. And we were there going, geez, they just won that game.
We beat
That
Brisbane
was a
at the start of the
division
year
game.
when we were
Hang on,
47
Rocco.
points.
Rocco, let Mark speak first. Let Mark
And then
speak.
we beat. Hey,
Hang on, let Mark speak
cut the
first. Come on.
talking, mate. We beat Freo. You wanted to know. You asked the question. We beat Freo.
Well, we know. Me and Manny know.
You're gonna do that again. We beat Freo, we beat GWS at the time was on top of the ladder. We beat Melbourne at the time was on top of the ladder. We lost to Sydney. We beat Gold Coast, who were in the 8. We beat Port Adelaide, who were above us. Then we beat you Spugs. So we've done all right. At least we're beating teams in the 8. But
Yeah, but
again,
not convincing.
the
The
only
game's
team
going to
you
go on
beat
either way.
in the 8 was the thing. So don't go looking at us. Just look at 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. They're your wins, mate. They're your
That's okay.
wins. That's it.
Now the teams, the lesser
And now
teams that
this
you guys
week- And
are
this
playing,
week
you
you've
might
been
start
like,
losing.
again, you've been kissed on the cock where you're going to play West Coast.
But me and Manny just noticed that we were just there watching the show, and every game that come on, we kind of noticed that there wasn't really any even though you play the top teams, but not the show that you're kind of going to get to that next level. Just look
How
like
much-
you might have got a lucky free kick, or
How?
you know, you
Or
might-
was it? So which one was the? Let's see. I'm looking at the game. Which one was the lucky?
I think
free
there was
kick?
one game. It was
Hey,
convincing.
Carl
There
was
one
lucky
game.
against Essendon.
Which
Carl
one?
was lucky against
Oh,
Essendon.
we just kicked too many
Was it?
points, mate. That's what it was.
Carl was lucky.
We
won by
Carl was
5.
lucky against Essendon.
We won by 5 goals and dominated all the main stats. So how were we lucky?
Well, according to Mark,
According
you
to
guys
Mark, we're lucky. Yeah, very good, Mark. Hey, listen, I would, as I said to Manny, Mark, keep in your lane, mate. Keep in your lane because seriously,
All right.
Spud
Get number
Bill.
2.
All right, let's keep moving.
Oh,
Let's
I
keep
need to keep
moving.
number
We've got to
two
get
warm.
this moving. We've got to get
Get
this
number
moving.
2
Let's
warm.
keep moving.
I don't need to keep in my lane, my friend. Just remember.
Oh, he's spinning it, Rock. He's spinning it. He knew it was coming.
He was coming, so he can keep on going if he wants.
He knows what he's doing, man. He knows how to incite the crowd.
Yes.
He knows.
I reckon he's probably had to take off.
He had to leave.
Da 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 da.
All right, let's go into the games because we're kind of on time. We'll go into the games. All right, let's go. We got round 15 here. Let's go into the first game.
Friday night, we've got the Brisbane Lions taking on.
No,
I'm looking at the wrong week. Forgive me.
No, that's right. It's spot on.
I'm looking around 16. We've got Carlton taking on the Cats.
yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'll let you go, Rock. It's your game.
Well, we're playing the Cats Friday night. It's going to be a good game. Carlton Geelong. I think it's 2nd and 6th at 7:40 at the MCG. Not much to say. We both had a bye coming into this game. We're starting to get a healthy list. I did hear Chera might not be back this week, so I think Chera might not be back. But I think Motlop will come in, and we got a suspicion that they will play Pitternet also this.
Hey, Rocco, just a quick question. When you say that you're getting more players coming in, right?
So our injured players are now
I'm aware
available.
of that. Yeah, thank you very much. But my question is, if your team at the moment, because the way the team played against Essendon, the Bombers, right? As a coach, I would sit there and say, you know what? these boys did so well. I really don't need to worry about whether I'm going to have any superstars coming on board because I've got these boys here that are giving it 100% at the moment.
So I'll give you an example, right?
So
When
in that,
I'll
hang on,
give
let me
you an
finish.
example
Hang on,
because I
let
know
me
you
finish.
got that's like
You're
the dumbest.
interrupting me.
Yeah,
You're
I don't
interrupting
give a
me.
fuck because it's the
No,
dumbest
you're
question I've
interrupting
ever
me.
heard. It's the dumbest.
So hang
Well,
on.
I'm going to answer you.
Hang on,
I'm
I
going
haven't
to
finished
answer
yet.
you.
I haven't finished yet. I haven't
All right,
finished
go.
yet. Slow down, right? Eat a marshmallow. Right. So my question is that I know you're going to tell me what you want to tell me, but my question is, if they're doing well, stick with it. Stick with them at the moment.
All right.
That's what I would
Now,
do.
I know that's what you're going to say. All you did was extend the question. You already asked and then you
Well,
extended
you never let
it
me
because
finish.
you like hearing yourself talk. I'm going to give you an
Yeah.
example. When Pendlebury's ready, does he come into the side?
The way we are at the moment, yes.
When you're winning, does Pendlebury come into the side when you're ready? When he's ready?
Not the way we're winning at the moment, no.
Shut up. You're an idiot. What a dud. You can't
No.
even answer with a
Hang
straight
on.
face.
No, hang
Listen,
on.
at the end of the
Hang on.
day,
The
like,
way we're winning
you're
at
going
the
to let me
moment, no.
answer? You're going to let me answer?
You wouldn't let me answer my
Ask
question.
the question.
Well, first and
You answered
foremost,
it. You answered
No.
it. You said,
hang on. Look at the
fucking
way.
hell,
Hey,
Manny,
listen.
shut up.
Have
You
patience,
said,
mate.
you
Have
already
patience.
answered it. I don't want to
Right, listen,
hear
have
anymore.
patience,
I
right?
don't want to hear anymore. Fucking hell, but you already answered it, Manny. You said the way you are playing, you will not bring in Pendlebury. You've answered your question.
No,
Done.
no,
I don't want to know
the way we're
anymore.
playing.
I don't want to know.
The way we're
I
playing,
don't
yes.
want to know. I don't want to know. You've answered the question. Now let me answer it. Am I able to answer it now? Or do you want to extend your question for another 3 minutes?
No, go for it, Rocco.
Right. If these players are ready, they're going to be in the selection, aren't they?
Yep.
They're going to be there ready to be selected, right? If we get someone like Chera, as good as you think that we are playing, there are players they can replace. For example, a Carroll. If Chera's ready, he's taking Carroll's spot because Carroll is just on the fringe. If Motlop is ready, he will be taking Durden's spot because he's on the fringe of the team. Of course, if your better players are ready to come back in, right? There's always a spot along the fringe. Now, if every single player is playing at 100%, well, then you go on games and you go on selection and you go on who you're playing, right? At the moment, if Motlop ready, he's coming in. He's coming in. If Chera's ready, he's coming in. The only dilemma we have got is with Pitternet. That's it.
Is Dangerfield playing?
Dangerfield, I think he's playing.
Oh,
Rocco's
that might just have to change maybe my tips here. If Danger's
He's a
playing,
twin.
he'd be straight into the side, wouldn't he, Rock? He'd go straight into the side.
Who, Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Of course. He's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm just referring to.
I mean, Manny just tries to ask like stupid questions.
No,
Yes, it is.
No, it's an honest question, Rocco, because the way your team dominated, because I watched the game, right? The way you guys dominated against the Bombers, you guys did whatever you wanted to. You
They were
guys
lucky to
did
win.
whatever you wanted to. So what I'm saying is, now look at the way Collingwood played right now. Okay, we struggled to beat North Melbourne. Right, we played shit football. All right, now tomorrow if I've got 5 players that are ready to come in, I'll be saying, mate, we need you to come in. But all I'm
you
saying
wouldn't make
is,
5 changes. It's very hard to make 5 changes.
you can't compare at the moment the way Collingwood is playing to the way Carlton's playing. That's what I'm saying. And you answered the question correctly by saying that this is a good position to be in, where players that are superstars or players that are first picks on the day will have to fight hard for their position. And that's a good position to be in if you're a Carlton supporter. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. To me, that was like one of the dumbest questions. Some of your better players are ready. how you going to put them in? I don't know. I don't know if anyone can answer that. I'm lost.
Yeah, but having better players doesn't mean you're going to guarantee you're going to win, does it?
Well, who said that?
Well, then
What
what's
do
the
you
What's the
add
problem?
stuff? What do
So
you
what's the
add stuff?
problem?
Who said that, Manny?
You
Who
know,
said that?
you know where I'm coming
Who
from, Mark.
said that? No, stop. Who
You
said
understand where
that?
I'm coming from, Mark?
Who said that? Who said that when you put in a player, you're guaranteed to win? Who said that?
Do you understand what I'm saying, Mark?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Manny. I get where you're coming from, but
Thanks, mate.
you don't make that
Thanks.
many changes in the team.
But
So
who's making 5 changes? He went.
no
to
one
the-
is. Yeah,
he went
no.
to-
I mean,
what happens
if your
is
team's
this is how it
if your
works, Manny. I
team's
know
winning,
you
if your
don't know
team's
the game.
winning, and you got 22 players on the ground, and they're winning consistently, it's going to be hard for another player to find their spot.
Of
Obviously,
course, and that's where you want to be.
But you
And
got
that's-
priorities to some of your best players. You got priorities of a Pendlebury or
But it's not
or
priorities.
Dusty.
It's like, for example, if one of your best players has been injured for 4 or 5 weeks,
Yeah,
and
he'll
he's
automatically come in, of course.
Well,
Someone's
of course,
unfortunately going to
it's
have to
always
miss
going to
out.
be fringe players. You're going to bring in your best players, right?
Yeah, but if
Then
you guys
he's
are winning
saying-
every week,
Then he's
yeah,
saying, "Oh, you got your best players. What are you going to fucking do?"
yeah.
Of course,
Mhm.
you're going to look at your team. You're going to look at the opposition team, and then you're
And make
going
it
to
better.
adjust the side the
Yeah.
way it fits best.
Those
right?
couple of players will make you better, your team
I
stronger
know.
again. But you know,
What a
it all
dumb
comes
question.
down to how you're winning and how convincingly you're winning as well.
Just have,
Yeah,
just
okay.
have your. Let's just make.
Anyway, I'm going for the tips.
your mate,
Dangerfield's playing.
all your pictures on your balloon. That's all you're good for. Props. You bring out your Yoda. You bring out your
You're on
big.
the
That's
floor.
all you're good
You're
for.
on the
Props,
floor.
because you haven't got any
You're on the
knowledge
floor.
of the game. Anyway, I'm going for
You're on the
Carl.
floor.
Winnie.
Yeah, blues for me.
Yeah, I
Manny?
think
Or Mark?
Dangerfield coming back is going to certainly help the team because they're struggling a little bit, Geelong. But I think a player is going to step up this week. That's Cameron. So I think Geelong by 16 points this week.
I like it. Manny.
No. I think Carlton at the moment they're peaking. They're high as a kite, and they'll win this game quite comfortably.
Dangerfield, he is dead. Cameron, to tell you the truth, and even like Stanley, he hasn't had the best 6 or 7 weeks. The bloke's struggling a little bit there. So anyway, I think we've got it covered. So we'll go to the next game.
We have Port Adelaide taking on the Brisbane Lions at Adelaide Oval, Saturday afternoon, 1:45 p.m.
Far out. This is a tough
Both
game.
teams.
Well, this is for me. Toss of the Yoda. Right? Heads or
What's what?
tails?
How's that going to work?
Adelaide.
There's no Adelaide. It's Port Adelaide.
No,
Port Adelaide. He
Port
doesn't
Adelaide. We know what we're talking about. Port Adelaide.
know. Okay, you, Marco.
This is a flip of the coin for me, mate. There's no issues here. So that's heads, mate. So I reckon, Port it is.
Quinny.
Yeah, home ground advantage, Port Adelaide.
That's the only reason. Actually, in actual fact, Brisbane Lions are playing a lot better, but fuck, they've been terrible, Port, in the last few weeks, man. They've been bloody terrible, man. So I don't know where they're at. So, but I think a lot of people are going for Port by the looks of it. Lou's gone for. I wouldn't be surprised. Lions have actually played well in the last few weeks. Next game. This is another tough.
The Battle of the Bridge. Giants taking on the Swans, NG Stadium. I know people buy into the fact that, they're due for a loss. They're due for I don't think anyone is due for a win, due for a loss. You're just good or you're bad. And Sydney are going to be hard to tip against this year. So for me, it's Sydney.
Yeah, I think GWS is starting to get their straps going. So, GWS for me will beat City this week.
I'm going for GWS too because I just think they've got to bloody lose a game sooner or later, and GWS looking all right, man. I went for them last week. I went for Adelaide, man. I got burnt there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Benny?
well,
Next, Benny.
GWS.
Oh, so here we go.
Peter Bluebag has made a good point as well. He goes, Sam Taylor testicle injury, their best defender, and Joel Amati's coming off a 9-game haul as well.
That's very true too. Actually, that's good for us, yeah. Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, with the Blues, if we go back to the Blues, you can say whatever you want to us to hold the two big boys, and now TDK's been going up there and kicking goals, and now you got the three, and then you lose one of your big defenders. They're going to struggle, I reckon. Where is Ratsack? What's his name? Here we go. Oh, here we go. He reckons the Blues have no answer for Cameron. Oh, whatever.
Well, I think the rat poison is a Geelong, isn't he?
No, he's a Geelong supporter. Yeah, 100%. All right, next game, Melbourne versus almost the winners by mate, this is another shit fucking game, man. What's going on here, mate? Melbourne
After
versus
last week, I'm tempted to tip North after last week, the way they played in the first half. But like you said, Rock, I think they're too young to see out a full game, and Melbourne are pretty desperate to get a win, to be honest. So the D's should not lose this.
Yeah,
Where are they playing?
G.
MCG, I think, yeah.
They're playing at the G. I reckon Melbourne will win this comfortably.
I'm going Melbourne too, because I just think they gave it their best. North. I think it actually might fucking actually
Hurt them.
make it worse, hurt them for the rest of the year. I think it's going to like break their soul almost, you know.
AFL's giving away free tickets, right, to go to this game because they can't get the numbers, and they're also throwing in a pie and a hot dog with sauce with a can of Coke to boot, just to get everybody in there.
And this is also true. Rocco Morrow, no, Petrarca, and Petrarca is outside of Gorn. He's their best player, and he's out for the rest of the year. I think Melbourne are done regardless, but I think they'll win this game.
Yeah,
Mark, they'll have to win this game. Yeah, Melbourne, they beat North. Yeah. Could you just imagine if North beat Collingwood last week, Rock? Far out. Man, you would have copped it sideways this evening, mate. I'm telling you, you're so lucky. Right. When you think about it, you're so lucky. I nearly tipped North as well, man. And I was barracking for it. I go 54. I think it's going to be not enough. And it proved me wrong. But
they needed that one more goal. They just couldn't. Once they got the run on Collingwood, they just couldn't get it. But I'll give you the comment. I'll give you the comment of the week. You want to hear the comment of the week by Manny? He wrote champagne football. He thought that was champagne football. The only thing I'm going to give Collingwood was mark of the year.
You reckon?
That was mark of the year.
That's mark of the year.
Mark of the year,
unless it's bigger than that, but that was the best. That's the best mark of the year.
It's going to Collingwood. It's either going to be Jamie Elliott or it's going to be Bobby Hill. So, Mark, you're getting a lot of comments in the comment section about you being on Tran or TRT. You've been hitting the gym, big boy. Steroids.
Maybe from the stuff from beyond, yeah.
Yeah, got the gym behind me there, mate.
Yeah, thought so.
This is very true. Adam Bagger said, Manny, I wouldn't be talking about supporters turning up if I was you, man. You go to one game and you're bagging the North Melbourne supporters. Are you serious? That's the pot calling the kettle black, that one there. All right, next game.
Let's keep going. Marco.
Yes.
Here we go.
Your boys.
Yep. Obviously, the Bombers are playing another bottom side. It's the second time we're playing the Eagles now, but we're playing them at home this time. We get a few players possibly coming back as well. That's in our top 22, which is Redmond, Draper, Benny Hobbs, and Dersma. I think those four could come in straight away. But again, we don't want to make too many changes. So I think probably Redmond and Draper would come in. But I think Essendon will come out after the bye. I think they'll start getting their straps going, and they'll beat West Coast by 42 points this week.
another bottom side team you guys are playing.
Yeah, that's okay. We can only play who we've got. So we beat West Coast, and we'll be sitting second on the ladder. Obviously, Colin was not playing this week, and I've tipped
The
Geelong to beat
AFL
Carlton.
must be
So,
desperate. The AFL must be desperate to get Essendon up there. They must be.
well, you need the crowds, mate, and that's what we're there to bring, mate. The crowd. So without Essendon, the AFL's in trouble. So I think the seat is nice and warm.
You're one of the worst supporter bases for a top. You're the worst out of the top four. And what?
No,
all
no,
right, I'm
no.
going to give you. Forget about the mark. Is everyone going Essendon?
Yeah. Yeah. Bombers.
Danny?
You know what? I might. Yeah, look, I think Essendon. Yeah, Swans. I mean the West Coast.
Something about
Flip of the
Essendon.
coin.
I'll give you
No, Harry
something
Reid.
about.
No,
I'll give
Harry
you.
Reid.
That's funny because I was just about to say this about Spurs. Mark goes to me. He was so happy that Harley Reid wasn't playing. He wants to play finals, and he's worried about this young kid is going to make a difference. So that's the first thing. Second thing, forget about the margin and that. What do you reckon you're going to get at the stadium, Mark?
It's a Sunday 1:00 game, so you'll get probably a lot of
Sunday. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday, 1:00 in the afternoon. So you probably get a lot of families there, which is a good thing. I reckon we'd probably get close to 25,000-30,000.
And you call that, and you're saying that Essendon bring in the crowd. We get 40,000 when we play fucking the Reservoir fucking Bull Ants over here, mate. And you're going to get 25,000.
We'll be happy with 30,000. We'll be happy. It's West Coast, obviously.
So what? We fill out the ground when we play these.
People expect that Essendon's going to win. So obviously they're not going to make the travel up there to watch them. So they'll be sitting back, having a cup of tea, having a beer, and watching.
Some make great fans.
Taking the points, mate.
25,000. Jesus Christ! Last time I
we
think
might get more. We might get more.
We got 40,000 at training the other day. They had to close the gates, mate, and you're getting 25 at a game.
That's all. We'll get close to 30. Anything over 30, I'll be pretty comfortable with.
That's pretty much a disgrace. I'm gonna put it out here, right? I reckon there'll be more people at the North Melbourne game.
There might be. Yeah, of course. They're members.
Yeah. What does that say about your side?
It's all right, mate. We're playing West Coast, mate. We don't have to prove to go out there. We know what they're capable of doing, so we'll be right. It's okay. We'll get the 4 points, and we'll get closer to playing these other teams that are above us, which is only going to be Sydney. That's going to be above us anyway. So we'll be right. We'll be right second half.
All right, let's move on to this last game.
Alrighty, that's me. Fremantle taking on the Gold Coast Suns, Optus Stadium. Freo are playing some good footy this year, home ground advantage. Gold Coast won't beat them up there, so Freo for mine, nice and quick.
Freo for me.
Freo for me too, Quinny.
Lovely.
Yeah, Freo for me.
All right. Let's go into. So last week was an interesting kind of. We did all okay, and we ended up with. Did I put it in there? I forgot to put it in there. Did I? Oh, fuck! I forgot to put it in there. Sorry, fellas. But I think I was on 73. Mark's on 70. Yeah, Mark's on 71. I think. Manny was on about 66, and now Quinny's moved up to 61. So he got 5. Mark got 5. I got 4, and Manny got 3. So he's falling, and I reckon Quinny's going to catch him slowly.
I only got 3.
Yeah.
You sure you're marking them correctly?
Do whatever you want, man. Go and check the video. I'm not here to fucking justify to you and that. I do it all. That's what you got. Did I mark it correctly? What do you think? I'm cheating, just like your side.
All right, mate.
Who did you pick last week? You picked Brisbane. You picked Collingwood, and you picked the Giants. That's all you picked.
All right.
All right. Of course it's all right. All right, guys. It's been good. He reckons he's even trying to cheat that. All right. Yeah, everyone's pretty much going Freo. Yeah, Eagles can turn it up. If it was at home, I reckon I would have picked West Coast, but he is tough for it. All right, so listen, we did have a big night on Saturday, and I did get up there, and I promised everyone that I would do it, and I know Quinny missed it. So do you want to see some highlights of my stand-up? How's that sound? Just the light and the move up before we head off, and some of the people here like Rat Poison and Lou and Rocco didn't get to see it. Let's have a look at a little bit of a highlight of what happened on the night. Welcome to another episode of the Jumper Punch Live. Everyone give her a round of applause. I've got some notes. Now, when I told everyone that this was going to be a little bit of a stand-up routine, everyone kept saying to me, mate, this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard, this. It's going to be uncomfortable. You know how uncomfortable it is to get up here, try to make you laugh? It's going to be so uncomfortable. And I started thinking to myself, you know what? This could actually be the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. Until I looked out into the audience and I saw that they put my ex-wife on the same table as my girlfriend. Who set that up, Mars? Everybody's here. Look at this. Everybody's here. It's fantastic. Look at everyone. Look at this. Over there, we've got the Monday Blues. Everyone give them a cheer. Hey? Monday Blues. That's all we needed, isn't it? Another bunch of wogs talking about a game they didn't invent and know nothing about. You know what? Actually, last time I saw two guys that looked like you sitting together, I got off the plane. Nah, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. We love him. Hey? I just hope the show doesn't bomb. That's fantastic here. Everyone underneath the same TJP banner here. Isn't it fantastic? We've got all sorts of races here. We've got we've got different races. We've got different religions, genders. It's fantastic. This is what the TJP does. Brings everyone together, doesn't it? Brings everyone together under one banner, and we love everyone. We love every single person the same. The same. Everyone the same. Even the Greeks. We've got the Italians. How many Italians in here? There's got to be a few Italians. Yo! Hey? They were rapt when they heard about this function. They were rapt. They were excited. They were excited. They were so excited until we told them they had to pay. And then we've got the Aussies. We've got the Aussies, eh? The Aussies bring everybody together. We love it. We've got Johnny Holden. He's our favourite Aussie of all time. What a name, Johnny Holden, mate. I love that name. Hey, it's like Crocodile Dundee. What a name. Johnny Holden. Can you just see him introducing himself to someone? Hello, my name's Rocco. Hello, my name's Johnny fucking Holden, mate. Right, Johnny fucking Holden. Football meat pies, kangaroos, and Johnny fucking Holden cars. But my dad invented the pronouns ages ago. He invented the pronouns ages ago, before you were all born. He had already invented the pronouns. You know what, Johnny? You know what my dad used to call me? You know what pronoun he used to call me? He used to look at me like this and he would say, bastardo. And he'd say like that too, like he was in The Exorcist. Bastardo. You know what that means, Johnny? Bastard. That's the pronoun. You know what else he used to call me? He used to call me rimbambido. Rimbambido, what a word. You know what that means? Dumb. Dumb bastard. That was my pronoun. Buttana. And he'd say like that too, trust me. Buttana. That means prostitute. That's what he would call her. You know what else he would call her? Call her strega. Fucking a strega. That's what he would say to her. That means witch. Now, I just want to make you understand, he used to call my sister, at 3 years old, mind you, you prostituting witch. And me, you dumb bastard. But we're all right. We grew up fine. I'm all right. I don't need to go to a psychologist once a week. I'm fucking fine. Because we grew up fine. You know why? Because we're strong, we're rugged, we're tough. There you go, guys.
I'm spewing. I missed that. That was very good, Rock. Very good.
We'll put up the full. I think we're going to put up more highlights on the Jumper Punch during the week. Yeah, but yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. We had a bit of fun. Everyone had a bit of a laugh. Got stuck into everyone. Yeah, and the whole night was good, man. I want to thank you guys for coming. I want to thank everyone that came there and had a good time. And I think it's good, man. We've got to do more of that, get everyone together and enjoy the footy a lot more, yeah?
Nah, 100%. 100%. Great event, by the way, too. I know you put a lot of work into it, Rock, and as well as the other Jumper Punch boys, but thank you for that. It was I know I was late, but it was a fantastic setup you guys had there. A lot of work went behind it, and you could tell how hard it was to set up. So thank you, mate. It was unreal.
And even just mate, the setup, I have to thank Will again. The setup just come up so good, man. Like the lights and the way it was set up on stage and everything. Yeah. So it was good. It was a really good night. The food was good. Yeah, we're definitely going to be, I think we have to do more of that. We have to do a great show again. Thanks, guys. Yep. We did have a good show tonight, as always. What's his horrible stand-up comedy, legit Rocco. I don't know who we're talking about.
He's talking about someone else. He's saying you're a lot better. That's not a dig at you.
Well, wherever it is. Oh, here we go. We got this one here. I went to saw Seinfeld live stand-up and Miss Rocco's live. I'm telling you, I'm better than bloody Seinfeld. He's lost the plot. He's lost the plot. He's done now. He's done. It's time to bring out a new fucking series, I reckon, with us four. We live in the same house. And, yeah.
God help us.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, that's it. So thank everyone. This has been a good show. Anything else to say before we go? No. You guys, Magpie Manny and Quinny, they got a week off this week.
I'll be enjoying it, mate. I'll be relaxing. I'm still celebrating the great.
He knew it was coming.
But I was just about to say that for Manny, there's no difference because he doesn't go to the games anyway, so it makes no difference to him if Collingwood play or they don't play.
Well, I'm looking forward to a stress-free weekend because I always stress when the Magpies are playing. And it is what it is. But good luck to your teams.
When we don't play, I don't know what to do. I watch the other games, but it's just not there, man. You look forward to your game. I'm looking so forward to Friday night, so.
Interesting.
All right, relax. Relax, Rocco.
Next week, Rocco, I'll have another joke set up for you.
We haven't got a joke, have we?
Well, I've got one, but this one's a bit too full on, I think. So I'll just I'll have to give it a miss, and we'll set something up next week. I'll let you know, and if you're happy with it, then we'll go ahead with it. So
done. All right, guys.
Good luck to your teams. Hot pies.
We're gonna go.
The reigning premiers are still looking good. They're sitting in the top 8.
Anyway, that's a lot of crap. That one there. You just bet
0-3, 0-3. 0-3, and look at him now.
Well, it's justified because you bet North Melbourne by a point. They just justified you 0-3. Okay. Trust me, it's gonna. that 0-3 will hurt you at the end. You watch. All right, guys, let's go. Go to Mighty Blues.
Go to Mighty Bombers.